JRM Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of President's Athletic Conference Football, produced by JRM Video Productions.
The regular season comes to a close in the President's Athletic Conference today in Meadville, Pennsylvania at Frank B. Fuhrer Field, the home of the Allegheny Gators and the home site of the Washington and Jefferson Presidents and the Gators on KDKA+. And we welcome you inside the broadcast booth. Austin Bechtold, Robert Mangino alongside. Huge stakes in today's game. It's a matchup between 8-1 W&J, 1-8 Allegheny, but everything is keeping our eyes focused on W&J and the possibility to win a conference championship.
And Sirianni, Coach Sirianni for W&J, is taking this as seriously as any matchup against CMU, Grove City, or Case Western. He's out there pacing. He is still burning in his mind about a loss from 21 years ago.
And we asked him, are you nervous? He's more so ready and focused and ready to go. And why wouldn't you be when you have Jake Pugh, who has been arguably the best player in the entire conference? The stats speak for themselves. 34 touchdowns compared to just 5 interceptions, Mangino, and a 69% completion rate.
How about this one? 2023 PAC Player of the Year. Twice this year, he was the PAC Player of the Week on offense. 6 touchdown performances for both. He's in the top 5 category for many different stats when it comes to the entire D3 football across the country, over 400 schools.
And a good chance that history could repeat itself and could see Pugh as a back-to-back PAC Player of the Year this in his senior season. But on the opposite side, it's Colton Colucci, the transfer to Allegheny that's made a significant difference that'll try to slow him down.
This guy is an absolute beast in the backfield. You see the long hair. You're going to have the memories coming back to you like Palomalo. He plays like Palomalo, a reckless abandon. How about this? Team leader in all of these statistics. 87 tackles, 8 tackles for loss, 7 sacks, plus the quarterback pressures. He's going to be all over this afternoon.
And Colucci was warming up right near midfield, barefoot with just a t-shirt and shorts on. And you can see the jerseys going halfway up his ribs. He's ready to go. Allegheny recognizing the seniors, 21 seniors before the game. This, the final game of the regular season. Allegheny's only win of the season was the first game of the year. What are the keys for the Gators and the Presidents to grab a victory today?
The Gators are going to have to play a very disciplined game. They're going to have to watch the pre-snap penalties, turnovers, special teams, everything they've been focusing on when it comes to the very basics in football for the longest time, going all the way back to their high school years. And one of the things that's going to be very important, too, is keep the game slow. Make W&J have to earn it on offense and really try to control the ball as much as you can when you have the ball.
W&J has won 6 games in a row against Allegheny. What does it have to do to make it a 7?
Simple. Focus. Sirianni is locked in as the head coach. He needs to make sure Jake Pugh and the entire offense and defense is, too. Just don't look past this game. Win this one, and then your ticket's punched into the playoffs. And run that high-power offense, that stifling defense. Just do what you naturally been doing all season long. Do it today, and you come out conference champion.
Washington and Jefferson is currently in a 3-way tie with Grove City and Carnegie Mellon for the top of the PAC standings. Presidents have the tiebreaker. Will they be elected champs? Find out next on KDKA+.
As someone who disrupts plans for a living, I can't say enough about the importance of life insurance. Sometimes you can see the end zone right ahead of you, you can have a clear shot, then bam, it's Cam. A policy from GBU Life can let you focus more on getting out from under what life throws at you and worry less about protecting the life you are working hard to build. You can get a policy with GBU Life that is affordable to you now and build on it for the future with their guaranteed purchase option rider. Get started protecting the life you are building today at gbu.org.
From heating and cooling to a large array of construction equipment, Herc Rentals has the gear you need to get the job done. Herc Rentals is already a staple in several communities across the United States and Canada, and have been serving our customers' needs since 1965. With a catalog of equipment that spans the spectrum of almost every kind of solution you can think of. To learn more about Herc Rentals, visit hercrentals.com or call us at 1-888-777-2700.
One-handed grab, what a score! Tucks his way into the end zone. To the races to the 20, 15, 10, 5 into the end zone again. Washington and Jefferson won the toss and defer to the second half. Chris Geiswhite takes it from the 4-yard line, and Geiswhite still going up to the 25 and down at the 26-yard line. It sends Trevor Brinzik, the senior quarterback, on senior day from Franklin Regional High School, a Whippeal product, out onto the field with Geiswhite, one of his main targets. An offensive line that has a couple of different younger players on it. Keegan Johnson at left tackle, Michael Ponziani at right guard, but a couple seniors that are also matched in with Liptrap, Messimer, and Palmisano as well on the offensive line. For the Gators, setting up shop, sending Austin Williams, the senior tight end, in motion to the far side, and Brinzik looks to throw on the first play of the game, being pressured by Dietz and Keith, and delivers a pass to the 30-yard line, incomplete, with no one really in the area. Closest man there was Williams.
Yeah, interesting pressure already from W&J on Brinzik. Difficult time for him to be able to get back there, get set, get comfortable, incomplete pass.
Washington and Jefferson defensively, you saw Dietz, you saw Keith apply the pressure. Those two guys have combined for 18 sacks on the year.
Dietz is remarkable. All conference, all D3 last year. He could very well be awarded that again coming up this year too.
Second down and 10 for Brinzik. And he'll take it on a design quarterback run. Brinzik with some room to go past the 30-35. And Brinzik is taken out of bounds by Brandon Brown just shy of the 40. Picks up a first down and a gain of 12.
This is exactly what they need to do. A little bit of play action there, a little bit of misdirection, finding some room, laying some blocks to be able to get to the outside, and then pick up that first down, keep this thing moving here. Clock is running, and now a new first down for Allegheny.
Ball spotted at the 39-yard line. Dominic Baraducci, the freshman running back at 5'9", 185 pounds from McDowell High School, in the backfield. Was banged up last couple of weeks. Was able to give it a go. Brinzik rolls out to the far side, looks for Williams, but overthrows him, incomplete.
Once again, the pressure from W&J on this one. The offensive line just not able to give him the time that he needs. He had a guy open out in the flat, able to pick up a couple of yards if he's able to really plant his feet and make the connection, but he had to throw as he was moving a little bit off of his back foot, not able to complete that pass.
Second down and 10 for Brinzik in his final game. Brinzik, who starts this year after Jack Johnson, veteran quarterback, graduated. This time he'll hand it off to Baraducci, nowhere to go. Avery Keith, shot out of a cannon off the edge. It's a loss of 4.
This offensive line is going to have a difficult time all afternoon long if they can't figure out a way of being able to keep Dietz and Keith at bay. It's going to mess up the running game. It's going to mess up the passing game. They are just so athletic, so dominant on that front line for W&J. It's going to be impressive to watch them throughout the course of the game.
Sets up third down and long, needing to get to the 49-yard line of Allegheny to convert. Brinzik being pressured, delivers, incomplete. Dangerous pass. Nick Berkey, the closest man there, and it sends out the punting unit.
Yeah, it's a situation where, once again, they had one guy back, they had a running back there trying to give him a little bit of help, but that front set for W&J just not able to get to him in time for the sack, but still that pressure making all the difference and forcing that incomplete throw.
Brinzik also serves at the punt as the punter. Of Anthony Rosati back deep. Rosati standing at his own 34.
Deep is Anthony Rosati for Washington and Jefferson.
13:36. So to go first quarter. Good snap to Brinzik and delivers a low kick that takes a hop with Rosati. Will just let roll inside the 40, or it's picked up there at the 37. And it sends out the Washington and Jefferson offense. The Presidents ranked 18th in the country. You take another look at the punt from Brinzik. Not a high kick, but a favorable bounce. Jake Pugh from Thomas Jefferson High School, the senior, 5'11", 195-pound quarterback. Over 2,700 yards passing on the season, a 184 quarterback rating, 34 touchdowns, 5 picks on the year. Pugh has been the engine to this W&J offense.
He has been so much fun to watch over the past 2 years that I've been a part of this. It doesn't make a difference what you ask him to do. Whip the ball around the field, roll out, sit in the pocket, run. He does it all as a quarterback.
Pugh on the RPO, delivers a pass that's caught. John Peduzzi able to gain 12 yards and a first down near midfield.
What they do remarkably well here at W&J is their wide receivers run great routes, really setting themselves up well for Jake Pugh to be able to see them and hit the target.
They go quickly to the line. This time handed off. Kobe DeRosa bounces off one tackle. DeRosa into Allegheny territory and a pickup of 5.
DeRosa on this play, it was one of those ones where you want to go through one hole and he doesn't see it. So he does a little bounce out, sees an opportunity, able to take something that would have been in maybe a yard or two and turns it into about a 5-yard gain.
Washington and Jefferson, a quick-moving offense under Mike Sirianni. Open man caught. McCosco, first down and more. Jacob McCosco's inside the 25. A flag does come in at the 40-yard line. Allegheny indicating this is against Washington and Jefferson.
There's a flag on the play.
And signaling that the Presidents have to move backwards, and the offense already starting to head that way. They enrolled an illegal man downfield. Called against the Presidents.
And this is the one penalty the W&J deals with all of the time. It seems as though it comes up at least once or twice a game because they're running the RPO. And then you have the offensive linemen that are blocking. They're not sure whether it's going to be. What is Jake going to decide? They don't know. And if he takes just a little bit too long in deciding what it is that he wants to do, next thing you know, you have linemen down the field and you negate a really great pass play.
The referee's trying to figure out where to best place the football. It's being spotted at the 43. Seems to be a little bit of confusion with the sticks. Everything now set up. First down and 10 for Pugh. Should be at least 5 yards lost on the penalty. And still discussions with the chain crew on the far side of the field. You see at the top of your screen, trying to get everything sorted out. Would understand if it was a holding penalty downfield as to why it might be first down and 10, but.
Second and 10 now for Washington and Jefferson.
They got it right now.
Said McCosco in motion to the far side of the formation. Pugh keeps it. Looks downfield. Open man. Zach Cernudo down the sideline. Cernudo's inside the 20. And Cernudo, the PAC Offensive Player of the Week 2 weeks ago. He's on the D3Football.com Team of the Week, making his impact felt early.
Last week, he was key for W&J. I just love the way he plays. He's an unsung hero. There are a lot of big names that get all the attention, but when he gets his number called, he shows up big, whether it's a block or a great catch like that coming out of the backfield.
Owen Patricic is into the backfield for the Presidents. Two tight ends, Cernudo and Holmes. They give to Patricic. Patricic breaks off one tackle. Patricic still going. Pile moves forward towards the 5. It was Zach Altenbaugh who tried to bring him down, but Patricic with a good move was able to use some shifty moves in space to get past Altenbaugh. And it ends up picking up 6.
You notice they're running toward that left side. Elijah Staub, the junior, 6'3", 295 out of Hanover. And Adam Kazera, the fifth-year senior, 6'2", out of Sharpsburg.
Pugh with plenty of time. Snaps it, gives it to Patricic. Patricic inside the 5, where he's brought down by a convoy of players, including Colton Colucci right in there on the stop.
And for W&J, this is what you want for your first drive. Commandingly driving down the field, exerting your dominance, showing why you have the opportunity here to be the PAC champion They've been dominating teams consistently throughout the course of the season. The offense has been absolutely on fire, and here we go.
Kobe DeRosa is going to take the direct snap. They line up Jake Pugh, who now goes in motion as DeRosa takes it into the end zone from 2 yards out on 1st and goal. Touchdown, Washington and Jefferson. Kobe DeRosa scores his 10th rushing touchdown of the season. That leads the team, and it puts the Presidents on top 6-0.
They don't run Wildcat very much. I don't remember seeing them do that very often, where they'll put Pugh in motion, but right back to DeRosa. And then the opening, once again, off that center, left guard, left tackle area. Easy touchdown.
Devin Wyatt on to attempt the extra point. Jake Melly will hold.
Devin Wyatt for the extra point.
Good snap, good hold, and Wyatt's kick, a low one, but up and good. 10:18 left, first quarter of play. Washington and Jefferson scores on its opening drive. Presidents lead 7-0 in Meadville.
At 2 Men and a Junk Truck, we can remove your things, so you have room to dream.
It's time to rediscover the original Voodoo Brewing Company pub in beautiful downtown Meadville. Enjoy world-renowned craft beer, delicious and unique cocktails made with our new lineup of VBC spirits and one-of-a-kind food items. Follow our Facebook and Instagram pages to stay updated on our series of live music. And if you're looking to take your celebration to the next level or host a private event, look no further than our production facility, only at Voodoo Brewing Company.
It's Potomac Furniture's 75th anniversary sale. Celebrate our birthday with 40, 50, and 60% savings. Stop in today, Route 19 in McMurray, or visit PotomacFurniture.com. Furniture of distinction at a price you can afford.
A 6-play, 64-yard drive for the Washington and Jefferson Presidents that only took 3 minutes. A 2-yard rushing touchdown from Kobe DeRosa to give the Presidents an early lead. And this is exactly what Mike Sirianni wanted to see Mangino from the get-go score early and often.
Exactly. Pugh perfect on that drive, 2 for 2 for 42 yards. Long was 29. And then you get the running game involved with Patricic and DeRosa. It's what they want now. It's about repeating that throughout the course of the afternoon.
Chris Geiswhite takes it up past the 20, and Geiswhite is brought down at about the 26-yard line by a couple of different special teams players for Washington and Jefferson. For Allegheny, one of the main problems has been protecting the football. 5 pick sixes thrown by the Gators this season. Allegheny has thrown more interceptions than touchdowns.
And they cannot afford to do that here. That is one of the things you have to be careful about. You can't turn the ball over, and if you do turn it over, you can't give W&J an easy 6 points and have them run away with this thing early in this game.
First down and 10 for Brinzik. Quick pass. Incomplete. Dangerous attempt there. Will Griffin, the attempted man, but was broken up by Joey Lacey, the junior linebacker. Tips and deflections can be dangerous. Good thing for Allegheny, the Presidents, get their hand on this one.
Yeah, you have to be able to bring this one in. It's so important to do that. One, you can't let it hit the ground. Two, once it goes up in the air like that, the W&J defensive backs are just so opportunistic to be able to get that interception.
Empty backfield for Brinzik. 4 wide receivers to the far side. Geiswhite, the only man isolated to the near side. Brinzik looks towards Geiswhite. Back to the football and makes the grab. Chris Geiswhite with a great grab. Back shoulder for 15.
That was a great pass. Just absolutely perfect with the placement. Only his guy was going to get this. Watch this again here. Has plenty of time in the pocket on this one, puts it on his outside shoulder, goes up, grabs it, drops the foot, first down.
Ball spotted at the 42 for Brinzik. 61% completion rate on the season. Lines up in the pistol. Dominic Baraducci's the back. Hasn't had a carry yet. And the pass is deflected, incomplete. There's Joey Lacey on the deflection. He brought the blitz, got his hand up there, and forced the incompletion.
Did you notice the difference so far? Just in 2 drives, when he has time, he's able to set himself in the pocket, see his target, and be able to hit it like that sideline route that he just threw 2 plays ago. But if he's rushed, if he's feeling pressure, he's uncomfortable back there, things get mixed up pretty easily. Incomplete passes, missed throws. We'll see what happens here on 2nd down.
And Joey Lacey out there with Keaton Hall not on the field, the senior linebacker. Brinzik, quick pass. Geiswhite with a good grab. Comes up about a yard shy of a first down. It's a 9-yard gain, but Geiswhite, a great job to locate the football and reach for it to hold on. But seems like there's a discussion to see if it is going to be ruled a completion, and now ruled incomplete as the ball came out at the end.
It did. He did a great job of going down there, trying to get it, just not able to bring it in. I tell you what, that was a great call by the officials to have that go snap, and be able to pick up that ball touch the ground, not have the advantages of instant replay. But what an effort in order to try to complete that pass.
Back-to-back incompletions. Extra man into the secondary comes in for Washington and Jefferson on 3rd down and 10. 3 receivers to the far side. Griffin, the tight end, lines up to the near side with Baraducci, the back for Brinzik. Ball at the 42. Brinzik has time. Throws downfield, and it's incomplete. Almost intercepted. Golden opportunity for Marcus Harrell Jr. to get his hands on the football, but another punt coming up for the Gators.
Look, on this one, W&J rush 5, was able to get pressure. Once again, Brinzik was going back, trying to buy himself some time. Threw off his left foot, trying to make the completion. But once again, on that tighter coverage, he's really setting himself up, if he's not careful, to throwing an interception.
Brinzik on to punt again. Anthony Rosati's back. Clock stopped at 9:17, punting on 4th and 10. Brinzik gets it away with some pressure applied. And once again, Rosati will let it roll. Ends up losing about 12 yards because of it inside the 20. So Washington and Jefferson owns the tiebreaker over Grove City and over Carnegie Mellon. Everybody's bunched up at 8-1, where Carnegie Mellon was able to win 1 game against Washington and Jefferson in overtime, but not beat Grove City. The Presidents beat Grove City, something that did not happen at all in PAC play, as Grove City went undefeated 10-0 and won the conference. Washington and Jefferson, that heartbreaking loss in overtime to CMU, but rebounded against Grove City. Grove City beat Carnegie Mellon, but because of how the scores were dictated and the margin of the scores, Washington and Jefferson would receive the automatic bid to the NCAA playoffs, but a firm belief that everyone's going to get in, as McCosco makes the reception in a gain of 12.
Yeah, it's interesting when you look at that graphic. W&J number 3 at this point, but if all 3 of those teams get wins today, all of a sudden W&J at the top of the PAC standings. And a great play by Jake Pugh on that last one, able to roll out to his right, just does it with such composure and able to complete that pass. Easy first down.
Pugh lines up in the pistol. Takes the handoff, another RPO play, caught by Peduzzi. Similar play we saw really in the same spot of the field, and it's a similar result in 13 yards.
Yeah, they do this so well. They hold the linebackers with the RPO because the linebackers have to respect the run. It isn't as though they have one guy who's a dominant running back. They have the running back by committee, but they're so good at it. The linebackers have to hold. They run the quick slant route, quick completion, first down.
The run McCosco in motion on the far side. Pugh will keep it. Delivers downfield passes. Caught by McCosco. Spinning his way for another gain of 12 yards. This is just chunk play after chunk play for W&J to move the chains into Allegheny territory again.
Last drive, they were able to roll it down to the end zone for a touchdown, and they did it on 6 plays and averaged a little over 10 yards a play. They're doing it here on this drive too.
And the Presidents running no-huddle offense. Pretty quick, up-tempo. Like to run a lot of plays. We'll send Cernuto in motion to the near side, and this time give it to Volpatti. Troy Volpatti for about 3. Up to the 43-yard line.
And once again, they run over that left side. They really, really believe that that is the target area for them to be able to go to pick up the yardage they need. And a real nice pickup on first down to be able to get 4 yards here. You won the down, and now you can go back to these pass plays if you want to, run the RPO. And that, once again, that also an aspect of an RPO too.
And back to the playoff situation, expanded playoffs this year. 40 teams are going to get in. A little bit of confusion. We're not really sure what's going to happen next week. Who might have a bye? Will everybody be on a bye? Will anyone have a home playoff game? Still yet to be determined, depending on the seeding, what the selection committee decides, as Raymond Holmes is on the receiving end of the pew pass, but is about a yard shy of picking up a first down and should set up third down and short, but a late flag comes in right by the W&J sideline.
Looks as though it's going to be a late hit there. And this is another thing that's so difficult about defending W&J. Oftentimes, you'll have a team that has 1 or 2 key receivers. But Pew is so good at spreading the wealth here. How do you decide who you're going to try to eliminate?
Late hit will add 15 yards. And it puts the Presidents once again in striking distance. Ball spotted at the 22 after the penalty. And this is just something for Allegheny. Team that's 1-8, has not won a game since the very beginning of the year at Bethany. It's not won a home game this year. It's senior day. Just can't have these types of mistakes.
No, you cannot. And you have a lot of young guys out there trying to prove themselves as well as they're getting ready not only to wrap up this season, but kind of stage themselves for next season too.
DeRosa's the back. He gets the call. DeRosa is dragged down at the 20-yard line. Azri Matsuda, the junior 6'1" outside linebacker from California, on the stop.
One of the things that W&J is doing is neutralizing maybe the very best defensive player that Allegheny has right now, and it's Colton Colucci. We have yet to call his number on a play at this point, and they seem to consistently be going away from wherever he is.
Another handoff goes to DeRosa. DeRosa trying to get to the outside. He's dragged down. Vital Joseph makes the tackle. Yard shy of first.
The blocking with the front 5 of W&J, they're just able to own that line of scrimmage, and then he's able to bounce it outside, pick up some real nice yardage. It's a 3rd and 1 here. Very easy situation here for W&J.
Patricic comes in as the back on 3rd down and 1 when McCoskey lined up near side. Rosati and Peduzzi to the far side. They give it to Patricic, and he's not going to get there. Dragged down by Jerome Williams II, the freshman 6'1" defensive end from Strongsville, Ohio, with a great play.
That was a fantastic play. Coming in, able to cut in front of the offensive tackle on that one, Eddie Nakotra, and be able to get in there and tackle him for a loss, setting up a very difficult now 4th down conversion here with a 4th and 2.
W&J will go for it. It was a loss of 1 on the play. 4th down and 2. Patricic remains the back. The lineup, Ray Holmes on the near side of the formation. Cernuda to the far side with Peduzzi. McCoskey in motion to the far side. Pugh keeps it, delivers to the end zone. Touchdown, John Peduzzi. Jake Pugh finds Peduzzi for a 14-yard touchdown and extends the lead.
Pugh is so good. When you watch this replay, he's able to read. If he were to hand it off, nothing's going to happen. He pulls it back, rolls out to his left, sees Peduzzi wide open, and is able to hit him. He is so good with the delivery of the ball as well. Right on the numbers. It doesn't make a difference if he's standing in the pocket, he's rolling left or right. He's just so in tune with his receivers.
Peduzzi and McCoskey have traded touchdowns this year, both coming into the game with 11. Peduzzi now with 12 on the season, and with 4:39 left in the first quarter, Washington and Jefferson extends the lead to 14-0. You're back to Meadville after this on KDKA+.
This awesome gift is from my grandma. I use free pay policy from GBA Life.
What does it do?
It accumulates cash value, helps protect my future insurability, and it may even earn dividends.
What's so great about that?
My policy will grow with me. Plus, I get access to the GBA Life Youth Leaders Program, scholarships, and more.
Oh.
You might be interested in a GBA Life annuity. You're probably thinking about retiring soon, right, Mrs. Jones?
In Pittsburgh, football season is all year round. The Pittsburgh Passion, 3-time national champions, a team of women united by drive, dedication, and heart. It's more than football, it's family, a sisterhood of athletes working together to achieve greatness. Do you have what it takes? The passion, the commitment. This is your chance to be a part of the black and gold. Step out onto the field and join a legacy. The Pittsburgh Passion is waiting for you. Join us for tryouts. For more information, scan the QR code or visit PittsburghPassion.com.
If you need insurance, you need an agency that's sharp. The Sharp Insurance Agency is an independent agency and distinguish themselves by providing face-to-face customer service and reviewing coverage to provide the best possible value for their clients.
Hi, I'm Mike Sharp. Lean on my years of experience in the Pittsburgh area to find you the best insurance coverage, because when insurance companies compete, you win.
The Sharp Insurance Agency. Contact us today to have your personal or business insurance professionally reviewed.
Jake Pugh surpassed 7,000 career passing yards against Case Western Reserve. His third passing touchdown against the Spartans was his 87th career passing score, 100th career offensive touchdown. He continues to add on to those historic numbers today.
And he is just an absolute standout. We talked about him before the game, about how his performance ranks him up there in D3 in the entire country, and he continues to impress.
Pugh now second all-time in W&J career passing yards history, as it's Geis White, after bobbling the football, being tackled down inside the 15.
W&J, great performance there on special teams. Big mistake for the Gators. You don't want to make things any more complicated for yourself than things already are, and starting now inside your own 15-yard line when you're down 14 points with 4:32 to go in the first quarter. Just not what you want to see if you're a Gator fan.
And it's Pugh second in passing touchdowns after he was tied with Chris Edwards and Jason Bear in program history. But Trevor Brinzik with 8 of his own on the season. The 10th game of the year. We'll hand it off. And Dom Baraducci only gains 2 yards.
You look back at that last drive by W&J, that one, 82 yards on 9 plays. They're averaging 9 yards a play. When you're able to put up that kind of yardage on every single down on average, you're just at a point to where you just cannot be stopped. And they're showing themselves that way, whether they want to run the ball, whether they want to throw the ball, whatever they want to do, they're able to do so far this afternoon.
It reminds me a lot of tomorrow's Steelers-Ravens game, where the Ravens average 7.1 yards per play. It's the most ever. That would be the most ever in NFL history if that is indeed the case. Pistol formation for Brinzik on 2nd down and 8. Brinzik under pressure delivers. Pass is caught with some space. Nick Berkey gets dragged down by a couple of different defenders at the 34.
Brinzik did a really great job of staying in the pocket. He knew he was going to get this hit, and he took it hard. But because he stayed in the pocket, was willing to absorb it, he was able to really zero in on his receiver, hit his open guy, pick up the first down.
Good pocket awareness from Brinzik there to deliver the football. As Braden Laird said, he wants to see 4 quarters of fight from this team. W&J has been very good in the first quarter all season. Allegheny, not so much, and getting down early, especially against this team, so hard to come back from, as Brinzik looks to the near side the whole way, and Berkey makes the catch on a dive for only a gain of a yard. Washington and Jefferson in the first quarter has outscored opponents 128-30 coming into today, so add on another 14 points to that. On the opposite side for Allegheny, W&J has scored 14 points in roughly 10 minutes or so.
Right.
Allegheny has only scored 14 points in the first quarter all season.
Oh, wow. When Coach Slayer was talking about wanting to see his team really perform well, it doesn't make a difference what the score is. He wants to know who is here that really wants to play football, who wants to earn and own that position and show that they deserve it for even next season as well.
2nd and 9 is a design quarterback run for Brinzik, and Brinzik with positive yardage. That's been one of the best plays of the day for Allegheny in the early going, but Brinzik comes up and seems like he felt that hit a little bit as he got to his feet.
Yeah, that was a quarterback keeper all the way, and nice blocking on the outside in order to create a little bit of a seam for him and able to get that first down pickup.
And when you have the senior 6 foot, 245-pound force at defensive tackle, Dawson Dietz, falling on you, you're going to feel it.
Oh, it's going to hurt.
As it goes all the way to the 44. Dietz leads the team with 22 tackles for loss, 12.5 sacks. 12.5 sacks is his new career high. Had 3.5 against Case Western 2 weeks ago. Pistol formation for Brynzik. First down and 10. They give it to Baraducci, and he's dragged down by Avery Keith.
Avery Keith coming off of his left defensive end position, able to get around the tackle, and the way he grabbed the shoulder pads, look at this, grabbed the shoulder pads, just ripped them right down. You were talking about Dietz a moment ago. You don't expect that from an interior defensive lineman. Normally, their job is just to absorb as many blockers as you can, open up the opportunities for your linebackers to come in there, shoot gaps, and get tackles. But he is so dominant, he's able to break all those blocks and make the tackles for himself.
Officially a loss of 1, second down and 11 for Brynzik. As he looks middle of the field, has an open man, it's caught. Close to a first down. Ian Dursey on the reception. It is good enough to pick up 11.
Best drive of the afternoon so far for the Gators. If they can continue this thing going forward, you know, we're coming up on the end of the first quarter here. Maybe you have to run one more play. But this is a great way to just develop a degree of momentum. It's only 14-0 right now. You're not out of this game. Do what you can do. See what happens.
They line up 4 receivers to the far side, 1 on the near side. We saw this earlier where they threw it to Geiswhite. See if it's a change or maybe the same thing as Brynzik is looking for Geiswhite down the field. Incomplete. Flag does come in, though, as Geiswhite was bumping down the field with Angelo Volumino. A little bit of contact there. And Volumino, the Thomas Jefferson High School native, whose Jaguars are playing in the Whitfield Championship game right now, might have been guilty of the foul.
Yeah, it looks as though the ball was a little overthrown, but the deep official saying pass interference on this one.
And it is.
And they're going to mark this thing off 15 yards, give him a first down. He may very well have been able to get there if there was enough contact, but it didn't even look as though there was a whole lot of contact unless it happened earlier in the route running.
Yeah, it had to have been before that shot that we saw because the ball's being placed at the 30-yard line in the final 10 seconds of the quarter. Brynzik with time over the middle again. Pass is caught. Another reception made by Nick Berkey. He's been the most popular target of Brynzik today. And that ends the quarter. 14-0. The Washington and Jefferson Presidents on their quest to win a PAC title for the first time since 2018. Have a commanding 14-0 lead, but Allegheny's driving in Meadville.
It's time to rediscover the original Voodoo Brewing Company pub in beautiful downtown Meadville. Enjoy world-renowned craft beer, delicious and unique cocktails made with our new lineup of VBC spirits and one-of-a-kind food items. Follow our Facebook and Instagram pages to stay updated on our series of live music. And if you're looking to take your celebration to the next level or host a private event, look no further than our production facility only at Voodoo Brewing Company.
At Loewe, we understand the power of personalization. From hats to water bottles, our expert services include screen printing, embroidery, and a variety of promotional items. We also specialize in team sports gear. What truly sets Loewe apart is our dedicated design team, including our talented on-staff graphic designers and exponential customer service. Choose Loewe to make a lasting impression on and off the field.
When severe weather threatens, we're always watching the sky. The First Alert Weather Team is working every day to keep your family safe.
We're on the lookout for those dangerous storms right where you live, keeping an eye on radar to track where the rain, hail, and lightning are hitting. We could see severe thunderstorm warnings.
Warning your neighborhood if we see a potential threat. So we're looking at excessive rainfall expected through this evening.
So we can keep you safe. We're always watching for the next big storm so your family is prepared.
Back at Allegheny, where the Gators look to put up Our first points of the game with the ball on the 25-yard line, facing 2nd down and 5 for senior quarterback Trevor Brinzik. On senior day in Allegheny with an empty backfield, one tight end in the formation, and Brinzik on a design quarterback run, runs right into Aiden Thomas for just a gain of a yard.
That's an interesting call, that you would just run right into the heart of the W&J defense. But Allegheny, with their best drive of the afternoon, they're now 8 plays, about 62 yards on this drive, and really putting some plays together. And you know, it's still early in this game.
So 3rd down and 4 with the ball at the W&J 24-yard line. Don Baraducci's the back. See what Braden Laird draws up here with everybody bunched in tight at the line of scrimmage. Sendy and Dursey in motion to the far side of the formation. Brinzik lofts a pass up to Geiswhite, and a flag comes in. A lot of contact. It was Carson Laconey in coverage, rather Mason Kasprak.
Yeah, you had 2 different officials throwing flags at about the same time and practically landed on top of each other. They both saw the contact on this. Nice route, great throw right over the top, a little bit of a moonball throw there, where only his guy was going to get it, if anybody was going to get it, and he drew the flag.
Oh yes, we love the great sight and sounds of the moonball.
Don't we?
In western, northern, wherever you might be in Pennsylvania. 1st down, Gators. Ball now at the 12.
1st and 10 from the 12 for your Gators.
Gators have to feel really good about themselves on this drive. They've been able to hold the ball for a long time, a number of plays now, and now they're deep in the red zone.
Baraducci remains the back, similar formation. They send Berkey in motion, fake it that way. Brinzik on the pass, caught. Baraducci towards the end zone. He's down at the 3. Tackled by Joey Lacey.
On the catch, takes it down to the 3-yard line.
So when you look at this, pressure's coming, but his back's able to release. Nobody out there with him, catches it, gets down, it stays in bounds. And he's down close to a 1st down pickup. Still opportunity here for them to get the 1st down before they get the touchdown.
Brinzik's been a pretty active runner today. 41 rushes coming into the game. Does have 1 touchdown rushing on the season. Baraducci with only 1 on the ground as well, averaging 3.5 yards per carry. We'll spread him out with Baraducci in the backfield with Brinzik in the pistol. Geiswhite isolated to the near side, one-on-one coverage there as Brinzik looks to change the play. And now goes under center. Brinzik is going nowhere. He's dragged down, trying to catch Washington and Jefferson off guard. Brinzik went under center, but Avery Keith just not fooled.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a trick play if we can see this again. It almost as though it started as though he wasn't ready to run the play, but he kind of snuck up in there real quick, took the snap, hoping to catch W&J off guard, get the easy 1st down and goal. But W&J all over that one, able to tackle him for no gain.
And Dawson Dietz just barreled through the line on that play. Gave Brinzik no chances. Carson Messimer was just pushed back right into Brinzik. 3rd down and goal. Ball spotted right outside the 1. Brinzik, high snap, gives it Baraducci. Baraducci does not get there. He's down at the 2, maybe the 3. Does not get any positive yardage on it. It's decision time for Allegheny. Last couple plays have just not been good enough to punch it into the end zone.
No, great stop here for W&J, forcing this 4th and 1. 2 plays now, no pickup of any significant yardage whatsoever. And what a statement stop this would be for the Presidents if they can hold the Gators from getting the 1st down.
Yeah, they can get a 1st down if they make it to about the 2-1 yard line. Ball's right around that area at the 3. There is 15 seconds on the play clock, and that's when Allegheny will break the huddle. Brinzik lines up with an empty backfield. 4 men far side, 1 to the near side. 4th down and 1 for the Gators. And a timeout called. So Braden Laird got a look. Don't really know if he's liked what he saw and decides to use his 1st.
Yeah, I don't know what he was planning on running there, but it looked to me as though he was setting things up with nobody in the backfield, trying to spread the wide receivers wide, just have his quarterback do a sneak and a little quarterback keeper and see if he can go ahead and pick up the yard. But the defense from W&J wasn't giving him what he liked, decided to call timeout and regroup here. This is just so important. There's no reason to try to kick a field goal. Forget about that one. It's either get the first down to set yourself up for a potential touchdown or leave W&J pinned deep in their own territory.
Braden Lair is 4-15 at Allegheny. 1-8 this year, won 3 games last year. And he said the second and third years of a rebuild are typically the hardest. You know, first year, just trying to get familiar with everybody, trying to get used to the program. The first year is always difficult as well, but second and third, you're trying to continue to build your culture and grow it. Good player retention, bringing more players in. We're in the midst of that right now with Brinzik facing 4th down and 1. Brinzik looks to throw, near side, ball's deflected and incomplete. They were trying to connect with Ian Dursey, and it was Dursey and Geiswhite who both put their hands up in the air as the ball was deflected. Washington and Jefferson holds on 4th down.
Great stop by the Presidents here. Able to get some pressure, not able to get all the way back to him, but the hands go up. The ball gets deflected and harmlessly falls down to the ground. And now the Presidents take over 1st and 10. You were talking about the rebuild effort. That first year, last year, he comes in and he's really, for the most part, only working with the class that was there when he came here. He was able to have his first real recruiting class coming in this year and talked about the number of freshmen that he was able to attract to come to Allegheny, really setting a good foundation for where he wants to see this program going moving forward.
Pugh hands off and a good gain for Volpatti to the 12. A yard shy of a 1st down. That ball on 4th down went off of Justin Johns' helmet and forced the incompletion. Trying to find Geiswhite or potentially look towards Dursey. And even though Johns put a hand up there, sometimes you just got to use your noggin.
Sometimes that works out best.
Volpatti picks up a 1st down and spins his way to the 20.
And this is really demoralizing for the Gators. One, you had a real nice, long, sustained drive. Some penalties helped you move the ball down the field. You got it in close inside the 5, unable to convert on 3 plays from a yard out. And now W&J all the way out to the 20, 21-yard line in just a couple of plays.
Pugh, another running play. They go to DeRosa. DeRosa breaks away and gets out of bounds after a pickup of 12 yards. They're running behind that right side of the line where Michael Dungy and Michael Radzinski, I guess if you're a Michael on the right side of the line, it's a good thing because they've been blocking well. W&J's made some changes in the middle of the season in the offensive line, and those 2 players have done a good job today.
That's good to run behind the Michaels. They are definitely setting things up on that right side on this drive.
Ball to 32 for Pugh. We'll set McCosco in motion towards the near side, and once again, this time fake the handoff. Open man, Rosati off balance, makes the catch. There's a flag thrown. Allegheny's pointing in W&J's direction. And the Presidents are moving back.
And I think what we're looking at here again is an illegal man downfield. Once again, you run that RPO, and then if Jake decides to keep it a little too long, it's easy for the lineman to get too far downfield. That's what happens. Even though there was a great pass and completion, he actually had 2 different guys he could have thrown to.
It looks like Adam Cazzero, the left guard from Central Catholic, was the one that got downfield just a little bit too quickly. But yeah, as you mentioned, those types of plays, you're expecting to run block, but once you realize that Jake still has the ball, you have to stay disciplined.
Right. You just don't know. That's why it's so important for Jake to decide a little quicker about what he's going to do. If he's going to go run it all the way out that much before he decides to throw, he has to decide to go ahead and keep it himself and pick up a short yardage play instead of trying to pick up more yardage with a throw.
Pugh on 1st and 15 gives it to DeRosa. And DeRosa is taken down. David Babb, the senior, on the tackle.
That's a great job of stringing this play out. Could have had an opportunity for a big pickup here for DeRosa, but instead track down, force him outside, and give him only a pickup of a yard on that play.
2nd and 14, ball at the 29. Seems like W&J on this drive especially, taking a little bit more of their time, not going as quickly to the line with a 2-score lead. As Pugh looks to take a deep shot, using all of his time necessary to find McCosker, who comes back to the football and makes the grab at the 30.
McCosker is so good. He saw this ball. The defensive back had no idea where the ball was. Watch this. He's back, has all the time in the world to see what he wants to do, throws it deep down the hash marks, and then McCosker sees it, realizes he has to go back a little bit for it, goes up, high points it, comes down with it. Just an amazing receiver at W&J.
McCosker, the 6'1" wide receiver from Peters Township. What a great play as Pugh escapes, gets away, breaks off 2 tackles. Pugh will run, breaks off a 3rd tackle. There's a 4th. Pugh still going. He's finally pushed out of bounds at the 25.
He is such a gamer. I love watching him play, especially when he decides he wants to run this thing. I remember one play last year, he decided to do a quarterback slide. He got a lot of grief for doing that. And ever since then, I've never seen him do another one. Just making men miss, putting his shoulder down, hitting him people when he needs to, spins out of it like a running back, and just runs and runs in tremendous tenacity.
Zach Altenbaugh finally stopped Pugh's forward progress. With 8 minutes left, Pugh will hand it out to Patricic. Patricic jumps over a man. Close to a 1st down at the 19. It will move the chains.
Yeah, he did another good job there, too. The offensive line is showing the dominance, opening up the lane for him, bounces it outside. And when you're ready to go off your feet like that, you're really putting yourself in a vulnerable position. But he's so big and he's so strong, and he lowers those pads, he's able to cause actually more impact to the defenders instead.
1st down and 10. Inside the red zone now. Patricic on another call. Patricic follows his blocking inside the 15.
That's a nice run there, too. More blocking on the pull. And Patricic, patient in his running here. Doesn't get out ahead of his blockers, realizes he needs to follow his guard, gets out, nice pickup of 5 yards on a 1st down run.
John Mark Crawford on the stop after the gain of 5, and Patricic gets another call. This time he's wrapped up by Adri Matsuda after only a gain of 1.
That was a nice stop. That was a really nice stop to be able to come in and find the opening, square up, get down close to his knees, wrap him up like you're supposed to, take him down, and get that big tackle.
3rd down and 4 for W&J. Check to the sideline and get the signs in. As Pugh and Patricic in the backfield with 18 seconds left. Now head closer to the line. McCosker far side, Peduzzi near side. Pugh in the pistol, they'll send Peduzzi to the far side now. Pugh keeps, delivers, Cernudo caught, close to a 1st down. Doesn't look like he got there though. Great tackle made by Matsuda. And it will be 4th down, just shy of the sticks.
Maybe a little bit short here, but this is a really interesting play. You got the play action going on with the RPO, and then nice pressure from Allegheny on that one where Jake had to decide really fast about what to do, dumped it off to Cernudo, and now you're setting up a 4th and 1.
W&J goes into T formation. Old school football on 4th down and 1. They hand it off to Ray Holmes, the tight end, former running back. And Holmes picks it up inside the 9-yard line, continues the drive.
That was just about putting us in, my guys are bigger than your guys, and we can go ahead and move this pile here. And that's what they did. Bring everybody in tight, show the dominance of the offensive line. And these guys have been really controlling the line of scrimmage all afternoon.
And this is really a long drive from the Presidents to continue to chew clock in this 2nd quarter.
It was all the way down. It started, I believe, at their own 3-yard line.
1st and goal. Pugh keeps, end zone, caught, touchdown, Jacob McCosker. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns. The Presidents are rolling in Meadville.
Yeah, you're looking at 12 plays now, 97 yards for the Presidents on that one. And just a remarkable performance. To see the defense bend, don't break, and get the turnover on downs deep inside their own territory. And then W&J able to get a nice cushion out to the 20-yard line within a couple of plays, and then just continuing to methodically move down the field.
It took 6.5 minutes off the clock. Devin Wyatt on to attempt the extra point with a good snap and a good hold, and the kick up and right down the middle. Washington and Jefferson with a win can clinch the President's Athletic Conference title for the first time since 2018. And they hold the tiebreaker and have an automatic bid. Still a lot of football to go, but the President's in the driver's seat on KDKA Plus.
Now is the time. Today is the day for us to strike out and move forward in confidence and faith.
It's Potomac Furniture's 75th anniversary sale. Celebrate our birthday with 40, 50, and 60% savings. Stop in today, Route 19 in McMurray, or visit PotomacFurniture.com. Furniture of distinction at a price you can afford.
At Two Men and a Junk Truck, we can remove your things so you have room to dream.
As someone who disrupts plans for a living, I can't say enough about the importance of life insurance. Sometimes you can see the end zone right ahead of you, you can have a clear shot, then bam, it's Cam. A policy from GBU Life can let you focus more on getting out from under what life throws at you and worry less about protecting the life you are working hard to build. You can get a policy with GBU Life that is affordable to you now and build on it for the future with their guaranteed purchase option rider. Get started protecting the life you are building today at gbu.org.
Take a look at the Allegheny sideline, trying to get some things corrected in a 21-0 game with 5 minutes left to go before the half. Austin Bechtold and Robert Mangino alongside here on KDKA Plus. Games around the PAC this week. Grove City is at Westminster. That's a big game.
It's huge.
To determine what potentially happens with tiebreakers. I mean, if Grove City loses that game, there's a chance the Wolverines don't go to the playoffs. As the kick is a line drive being taken up past the 10-yard line by Geisweit. Geisweit trying to use some shifty moves, but only gets to about the 27. All right, other games include Waynesburg at Geneva, Teals at Bethany. Carnegie Mellon is at Case Western. That's another really good game. That game kicked off at 1:30. And depending on what polls you look at, the coaches poll, Grove City's 12, D3.com 12 for Grove City. Washington and Jefferson 18-19, 13-16 for CMU. You always wonder, how do those rankings factor into what the committee is going to decide when the bracket comes out?
When you think about the PAC, you think about W&J, you think about Carnegie Mellon, Grove City, and Case Western. But the Titans, the Westminster Titans, are right there knocking at the door.
Brinzik on the option. Gets past the 40-yard line. He picks up 14 on the carry. A good run for Trevor Brinzik.
He's had some really nice flashes today. The one play where he was running around the outside, the pass play where he was throwing on the left shoulder to the out-of-bounds marker, and now this one, the decision to go ahead and keep it for himself and pick up that big first down.
First down Gators with Baraducci in the backfield. Alongside Brinzik standing to his right. Ball at the far side hash. Brinzik looking incomplete. Definitely Aiden Thomas being in the passing lane affected that attempt to Baraducci, as Brinzik could just not sidearm it like a shortstop in baseball to get his man the football.
You mentioned earlier about how he has a really nice completion percentage. If he has the time, and we've seen this afternoon, if he has the time, he's able to set himself square up to the target and be able to throw a really, really good ball. But W&J, more often than not, is rushing him, and he just doesn't have that ability, just like that last play.
Second down at the 42. 4:15 left in the half. This time they go to Baraducci. Baraducci has space, and Justin Johns drags him down But it's a pickup of 10 yards and moves the chains into President's territory.
That was a really nice run. And they need more of that in order to be able to show some success. They pull a couple of linemen, able to get out in front, hit a block on an outside linebacker, seal the corner, and be able to pick up a first down.
And they got Baraducci moving laterally with a chance to pick up some speed. So the Gators have it at the 48-yard line of the Presidents. Gators average 15.5 points per game as Brinzik looks to take a shot downfield. Geisweit makes the catch. Gets a foot in bounds and a good ball from the senior Trevor Brinzik to find Geisweit.
See, that's another example. When he has the time, he's able to make those really good throws to the outside. Look, he has the time here. Able to throw it over the outside shoulder, and Geisweit, only he was going to be able to catch this. Goes up, sees it, gets that 1 foot in, and another nice drive. They had a good drive last time that stalled out for them close to the end zone, and another good drive by the Gators here.
And the way the season has gone, and it's just natural to wonder, do you play a different quarterback in the final couple of games of the year? Braden Lair said no. Trevor Brinzik has earned the opportunity, want to give him a chance to showcase himself on senior day. It was the same thing last week. And makes a good throw there as the run from Baraducci might be coming back as a flag comes in after he picks up 7.
Yeah, it looks like there was a hold on that one. He was able to get around that corner, but it was because of potentially the hold that make that possible. Here you go. And there's the hold right there.
Yeah, Keller lip trapped the left guard. And that officially is the call. So lip trap, the senior from Bay Village, Ohio, guilty of it. And it backs the ball up to the 33.
Yeah, sometimes when you're running around the outside, if you don't have the right footwork and you're able to get out in front of, on the outside edge of that defender, then you find yourself with your hands in the wrong position. And the next thing you know, you go from a 2nd and 10 because the play didn't go all that well to now you're looking at a 1st and 20.
Pistol formation with Baraducci the back. They fake it under pressure, incomplete. No flag comes in. Nick Berkey got up looking for one. Mason Kasprak on the coverage, but no flag thrown.
Yeah, it looked as though that maybe he was there just a little bit early on this round. Just a little bit, but you know what? The referees are looking at this and saying he played the ball. And he clearly did. It wasn't as though he was just trying to run through him. He was trying to play the ball himself, and the guys are letting him, the officials are saying, go ahead and play on, guys.
So 2nd and 20. 4 receivers line up to the near side. They line up Austin Williams in the slot near side. With Brinzik looking to the far side for Geisweit on a double move, but miscommunication as Geisweit stopped right around the 15.
A little bit of a miscommunication, but a great choice to actually go that way, because with having the 4 wide receivers on the wide side, the near side to us, he went looking that way. He had that one-on-one coverage, just not able to communicate with Geisweit on that one.
Well, that's the 3rd time that we've seen that type of formation. They line up 4 men one side, Geisweit the isolated man on the other side, and every time that's been the targeted receiver with Geisweit. This time, the lineup, Austin Williams in the slot near side with Geisweit to the far side. On 3rd down and 20 for Brinzik. Delivers downfield for Geisweit in triple coverage. It's deflected and incomplete. Brandon Brown had to go off his chest with a chance to grab the interception, but it brings up 4th down. Really in no man's land for Allegheny at the 34-yard line. We'll see what the decision is here.
Yeah, Brandon Brown is really going to be kicking himself because he had a great opportunity for a pick, hits him, and then he bobbles it, and then it falls harmlessly out of bounds. So now 4th down, you got to think you're down by 21. You're 2 minutes plus away from halftime. Well, why not?
So Allegheny obviously going to go for it, but a little ideally like to pick up some yards on one of the last couple plays to make it more manageable. Brinzik instead will punt.
They pooch it.
No one's back deep. Allegheny will just let it roll and try to play field position with the ball stopping at the 4.
And that was a really great call. And when you think about it, you come out in a formation to where it looks as though you're going to go ahead and potentially go for it. Run 3 guys out, and you pooch it instead. Nobody's back covering deep on it, and you're able to go down there and control the ball and not have to worry about a return.
Get your chances now.
It's a young team for Allegheny. 4 freshman starters on offense, 6 in the 2 deep. As we take a look at some of these scores around the PAC,
wow.
To be able to compete, you really have to be able to have older veteran players, and that's been one of the keys for Grove City against the young Westminster team. 20-3, huge game for Grove City. Geneva's up on Waynesburg, 14-6. We were talking about how long it's been for Gino DeMarco to get back to 500. We'll get back to some of those scores around the PAC in just a little bit. As Pugh hands off, Volpatti with some space. And it takes us to the 2-minute timeout. 21-0. Washington and Jefferson out in front against Allegheny. We'll take a look at some of the scores from around the PAC when we return on KDKA Plus.
Quiet on set? No way. This is Jake's time to shine. And Ryan's, and our crew. Cameras, check. Drones, check. Checking that shot we just checked? Double check. We ain't got time to chill. We're out here capturing this action. This is when we get to work. To bring you every moment live, no matter what. Broadcasting changes everything. Transform how you experience the game with JRM Video Production.
Hey, Ma, where's the duck?
It's in the garage.
Oh, yeah. Good morning, everybody. Today is the day. Let's take a quick look at the weather and traffic. It's a chilly 22 degrees out there, so bundle up. We'll be hanging out all day, so don't forget to stop by and see us, grab some hot chocolate, and support a great cause.
When you step through that door or shake their hands, will you be prepared? When you stand up for a client or walk into that meeting, will you be ready? Ready to prove to them that you deserve to be there?
When you come to Washington and Jefferson, you will be.
Washington and Jefferson College. Are you ready?
Second down and 4 ball at the 10-yard line. Washington and Jefferson with over 200 yards of total offense so far in the game. Pugh hands it off. That's Volpatti for maybe a yard. And defensively for Washington and Jefferson, their defense really does not get talked about enough for how productive and dominant it's been under defensive coordinator Phil Bobich. 84 tackles for loss, 34 sacks, 9 interceptions coming into today. This time it's the President's offense continuing to churn some time off the clock, not in really too much of a hurry. Up 21-0 and pinned inside their own 20-yard line at the 11. Get a chance to hear from Coach Sirianni before the end of the half. Mangino going down to talk to him as it's a run for Volpatti past the 20-25. Volpatti with a good carry, able to pick up 14 yards on the gain. Just following his blocks. Good block there from Cernudo. Also Michael Rodzinski. Raymond Holmes able to gain a couple of yards.
Raymond Holmes pushed out of bounds on the play, brings up second about 8. The 28-yard line.
Clock stopped at 1:03 after just a 2-yard gain. In the lineup, Peduzzi and McCosco on the far side. That's been the dynamic duo on offense for the Presidents all season long. Combined over 2,000 yards receiving, and Pugh looking for more to McCosco. He finds the football, and Jacob McCosco with a great grab inside the 35. Jacob McCosco, the second deep ball delivered from Jake Pugh, puts it right on him, and McCosco just a great job to box out the defender. He got right past Banks, just turned his back to Banks, and a good job to find the ball with another handoff, this time going to DeRosa. W&J does have all 3 timeouts and elects to use one right here.
Number
So we were talking about the scores from around the PAC, because right now it's a three-way tie. If everything stands, Washington and Jefferson holds this lead, Grove City wins, CMU wins, three-way tie. In all likelihood, everyone's going to get into the expanded field in the NCAA playoffs. Talking about Geneva looking for their first 500 season in a while. We talked about that a lot last week. Teal on top of Bethany 24-7. Bethany winners last week for the first time in over 2 years. CMU and Case Western. It's the game we're really keeping our eyes on in the second quarter in a tie game. So with 46 seconds left for W&J, you look to try to continue to move the ball down the field at will with still a lot of time to operate, especially where you are on the field. And potentially deliver the knockout punch just here in the first half. Presidents will also get the football to begin the second half.
2nd and 4 for Washington and Jefferson.
Second and 4 for Pew. We'll send McCosco to the far side in motion, and a little bit of extracurricular for Jerome Williams pushing Elijah Staub to the ground. I think he thought Staub moved. Officials thought differently, though. Didn't be called offsides. So here's a look. And he did move. Elijah Staub did move early. Jerome Williams was right. Referees did not see it. Our head referee, Jeffrey Laffer, instead opting to give the Presidents a first down. Ball at the 23. Pugh, jump ball. McCosco, got it. Touchdown, Presidents. Easy pitch and catch. Jake Pugh to Jacob McCosco. Second touchdown of the game, but McCosco a little bit slow to get up. And that's where the concern has to lie for the Presidents, as McCosco gingerly goes back over to the sideline. Great throw from Pugh. McCosco has done a really good job on that far side of the field, identifying where the football is. Devin Wyant on to attempt the extra point. And with 40 seconds left, the Presidents extend the lead to 28-0.
Is good. 40 seconds left to play in the first half. Washington and Jefferson 28.
So the Presidents will kick it away. We'll also get it back. The old Bill Belichick, New England Patriots double them up approach. Score before the end of the half and then get the football to start the second half of play and try to score again. See what happens when the brackets come out. Really just hours away from finding out what's going to happen, where W&J will be seated, and what goes on. How many representatives will the PAC receive in the NCAA playoffs? Expanded to 40 teams. And you talk to a lot of coaches around the conference, and they truly believe that a national champion can be had in the President's Athletic Conference, whether it's W&J, Grove City, CMU. 3 really good teams that rank in the top 20 in every ranking that you look at, whether it be the coaches poll, D3Football.com. Liam Campbell kicks it away. Guy Swight lets it bounce and picks it up off one hop. And gets tackled down to the 21. 36 seconds left. Allegheny could just run one play and take it to half.
Avery Keith on the tackle. 1st and 10 for your Gators, while at their own 22-yard
28-0. Washington and Jefferson out in front. Brinzik lines up in the pistol formation with Baraducci the back. 2 receivers near side to the far side. And Brinzik will throw. Incomplete. And flags come in from every direction, as Marcus Harrell had the coverage on Berkey. And a definitive hold there. 3 total flags, all signaling the same thing. Just a crossing route, little stutter. It was actually Dursey. As Dursey was held, spot foul, being inside 15 yards. And it will be a first down. Ball's being placed at the 34.
Down and 10 for your Gators at the 34-yard line. Did I say? That's an Allegheny Gator. First down!
33 seconds and a half. Pressure's picked up. Brinzik rolls out near side. Pass downfield's broken up. Good play made by Zakai Simmons. Looking for Austin Williams. And Simmons has been a really valuable part of this secondary for Washington and Jefferson. A veteran member of the defense. Has been around a while. Has started for a long time with the Presidents. A couple of seasons were the starts. So now 27 seconds left. It seems like the last couple moments have really gone in slow motion.
Speak for yourself.
The penalty and an incompletion as Brinzik delivers. Intercepted! Picked off by Angelo Volumino. Volumino takes it away at the 44.
Yeah, he went down low for this one. Well, first he had to go down low to pick up the snap, and then he went down low to pick up the interception. And now you got to wonder, what does Sirianni do here? You got a 1st and 10, Gator territory, 21 seconds. Clearly they can strike quick. Does he go for it up 28 already?
And just go to try to score another touchdown.
Right.
Now, I'm sure Sirianni would prefer the high school rules, where if you reach 35 in the second half, the clock would run and just say, all right, let's get as much clock out of here. Let's get healthy and get to the playoffs.
Right.
Nobody gets hurt.
I was down on the sideline for that last pass completion for the touchdown, and McCosco is just amazing to watch.
They line him up on the far side. And Pugh delivers downfield. Cernudo's got it, and he's out of bounds at the 30.
Look, they can do whatever they want to. They have so many different guys they can put out in routes. You just have no idea who to cover. And Jake, even though he's not a real tall guy, maybe 6 foot, he's able to look down the lanes and see where to throw it. And it seems as though, except for maybe a couple of balls, really nothing contested when it comes to defenses.
Pugh, incomplete, looking for McCosco. 10 seconds left in the half.
Wow. Could that have been his first incompletion? I think it was. I think that may have been his first incompletion of the entire afternoon. He is now...
It was.
Yes. He came in at that 14 for 14, 230 yards, 3 touchdowns with a long of 42. He is now 14 of 15. Wow. What a clinic.
And that's why he's your defending PAC Player of the Year. Maybe we'll win it again this year.
I can't see why he won't.
Pugh with time delivers from the far side of the field to the end zone. Peduzzi, he's got it! What a play by Jake Pugh! Escapes the pocket, finds Peduzzi. Another touchdown for the Presidents, putting on a clinic.
They are. They are so much fun to watch if you're not a Gator. If you're not the opposing team or one of their fans, just sitting back and watching them as a fan of football, they're just a thing to behold. The way Jake is able to scramble like that, still be able to see what he wants downfield, and to be on a run and then hit the point perfectly to where Peduzzi just runs right into it. He just caught it right in the breadbasket. It wasn't even an effort at that point.
It's just a perfect throw from Pugh. He has been incredible this entire season, and that's why he's the top of all of college football in terms of passing touchdowns.
Watch this. He's rolling out. He's scrambling, throws on a run, and it hits perfectly. Right as Peduzzi's running, and he just puts his hands out. He could have caught that thing blind.
And you could see the entire sideline for W&J just huddled around Pugh after that play as he celebrated, and the entire sideline did too. Just in awe of what they saw.
I think everybody is. He performs at a level that some people, you just imagine quarterbacks being able to play at.
You know, I'll attempt to do something like that in my Turkey Bowl in a couple of weeks, but I don't think it'll be executed as close to as perfect as that.
And he
maybe
does
any
it all.
Turkey Bowl around the area.
You always hear about people making comparisons to players up at the next level. And if there's a quarterback that plays at the next level that is like Pugh, I'm going with Patrick Mahomes. I mean, he just plays like him. You can see him throw balls off of every position. It doesn't have to be over the top. He does the sidearm thing. He runs the ball well with great aggression. He always has command and control. He's always poised. It never seems as though he gets rattled. And he makes everybody around him so much better. I'm not discounting anything that McCosco and Peduzzi bring to the table. They're amazing wide receivers and deserving of all the accolades. But you see him throw to so many other targets and get them involved in the game. There are many times he'll throw to 7, 8 different targets in a game.
Short kick that's fielded by the Gators. Dangerous play there. It's a live ball. W&J could have recovered. So how good has Pugh been? At one point, he led the entire country in passing touchdowns. He's now had the 6th most coming into today with 34. He's thrown over the 5th most yards at over 2,700 at all of D3. Mm-hmm. He's 12th in passing efficiency at 184.4. He was honored as the PAC Offensive Player of the Year in 23. We know that. He's been awarded as the Conference Offensive Player of the Week multiple times. 6 touchdown performance in both Week 1 and Week 6. He's just been incredible. Carnegie Mellon allowed 5 touchdowns last time that they played against Allegheny. Last time the Gator defense took the field. And this, the final play to end the half, as Baraducci takes it for a couple. And Washington and Jefferson. A couple of touchdowns to McCosco. A couple of touchdowns to Peduzzi. That gives you a lot of points. 35-0. The defense has also been strong here in Meadville. President's lead as we've reached halftime at Frank B. Fuhrer Field.
I'm Megan Schiller, and I'm on an important new assignment to save you money.
I'm going to tell you everything you need to know before you go out and buy more sunscreen.
Protect you from the sneakiest scams.
Pay attention to your mail because a scam letter could soon arrive.
And put the power of KDKA behind you when you've been wronged and feel like no one else will listen.
After you did some calling, emailing, I fabulously got phone calls.
I'm the only local reporter doing this, so if you need answers, just think Message Megan. KDKA investigates.
It's time to rediscover the original Voodoo Brewing Company pub in beautiful downtown Meadville. Enjoy world-renowned craft beer, delicious and unique cocktails made with our new lineup of VBC spirits and one-of-a-kind food items. Follow our Facebook and Instagram pages to stay updated on our series of live music. And if you're looking to take your celebration to the next level or host a private event, look no further than our production facility only at Voodoo Brewing Company.
Trout Plumbing is a registered and insured master plumber that services the South Hills. They offer a variety of services, including camera inspection and dye testing. Trout Plumbing also offers a veteran and senior citizen discount. When in doubt, call the Trout at 412-983-8106.
At Laway, we understand the power of personalization. From hats to water bottles, our expert services include screen printing, embroidery, and a variety of promotional items. We also specialize in team sports gear. What truly sets Laway apart is our dedicated design team, including our talented on-staff graphic designers and exponential customer service. Choose Laway to make a lasting impression on and off the field.
From heating and cooling to a large array of construction equipment, Herc Rentals has the gear you need to get the job done. Herc Rentals is already a staple in several communities across the United States and Canada and have been serving our customers' needs since 1965. With a catalog of equipment that spans the spectrum of almost every kind of solution you can think of. To learn more about Herc Rentals, visit hercrentals.com or call us at 1-888-777-2700.
35-0, Washington and Jefferson leads Allegheny at Frank B. Fuhr Field in Meadville. Senior linebacker Zach Altenbaugh honored before the game today. It's senior day at Allegheny from Western Beaver High School. 36 tackles and 5.5 tackles for loss on the season coming into today. As one of the star linebackers and star defensive players for Allegheny over the last couple of years, I had a chance to talk to Zach about his football journey at PAC Media Day earlier this year. You're watching PAC football here on KDKA Plus. I'm Austin Bexel, pleased to be joined by fifth-year linebacker for Allegheny, Zach Altenbaugh. Zach, great to be with you. First and foremost, why'd you come back for a fifth year at Allegheny?
So I just really feel like, I wasn't ready to be done playing football. Our last game was away at Case Western and wasn't the result we were looking for, and I just thought the year could have went better. So, having the opportunity with the COVID year to be able to come back, there's nothing more I would like to do. So I jumped on the opportunity.
In a second year with head coach Braden Layer, what is your relationship like with him?
I love Coach Lair. He's a great guy. I think when he come in, he really started to turn the program around in the right ways. I think he's, he's doing a good job surrounding himself with the right guys. He has a great coaching staff. Defensive coordinator coach Matt Handhold. He's, probably my favorite coach I've ever had in my entire life. So he, I'd run through a wall for that guy, and he really gets us all prepared, for Saturdays. And, I love where it's going.
How would you describe your football life, your football journey from a young player to now?
Well, I started playing football when I was about 5 years old, so it's been a part of my life for, the whole time. So it's definitely something I've been around for a long time, and I love doing it. I'm a big Steelers guy, so I'm always watching, news and football whenever I'm not doing football on my own. So it's just really kind of grown to be a part of my life.
So how do you think the Steelers are going to do this year?
They're going to win a Super Bowl. Justin Fields.
Always the right answer. I like Justin Fields. I think he's a pretty good quarterback. What do you think about just the way that you've been able to grow as a player in your career at Allegheny?
I think, just, working with lots of different people and, surrounding yourself with different teammates, you learn a lot, more not just about the game of football, but how to develop yourself as a person. And that's something our coaches focus is, developing young men instead of just football players. They want to put us in the best position to succeed, not just in football, but in life. So that's something I really commend that they do a great job at.
Yeah, how do you think you've grown and developed as a person in Allegheny?
I think, Allegheny, especially being a great academic institution, I think it's really developed me as not only a football player and a person, but, as a great student. And, I'm looking forward to where that takes me in the future.
Joined by Allegheny linebacker Zach Altenbaugh here on KDKA Plus. So, Zach, Allegheny continues to grow and continue to trend in the right direction with the football program under Braden now into a second year. What are you most looking forward to in the growth in the PAC this season?
I think, it's a very competitive conference, and I think, the way that they're going in the future with, adding new teams, it's making things very interesting. I think it's just great for the pack overall. I think Allegheny is, going in the right direction, especially with Coach Lair. I think, within the next couple of years, I think Allegheny is really going to be, a yearly contender competing for conference championships.
What's one of your favorite memories putting on this helmet and representing the Gators?
I think just, getting an opportunity to play like games later towards the year. And being in Meadville, we have a pretty rigorous weather. So I think my sophomore year, we had a pretty intense game in the snow against Oberlin back when we were in the NCAC, and we pulled out a close win. And I just, getting that win and celebrating with the guys, and doing it in the snow, it's really fun.
Yeah, how do you think the environment, especially playing up at Allegheny, your stadium, can play to your guys' advantage?
I think, especially, a lot of teams coming from the South in the pack, we're one of the most northern teams, definitely plays a role. I think not a lot of schools kind of embrace the weather that we do, especially towards the end of the season. Like I said, I feel like, we could have practice, with maybe 6, 7, or 8 inches of snow on the field. So, it kind of makes it fun. We get to go out, play around, throw some snowballs, and it just adds a different element of fun to it.
Zach, for somebody on the outside looking in, what would you tell them about the culture of the Allegheny football program?
I know, especially from my perspective, defense, Allegheny is a historic college with the football program is, winning a national championship in the 1990 season. It's just, defense is something that Allegheny was always kind of known for, and, that's kind of what we're trying to get back to, because I think, our defensive group can be really special, and I think we can just go out there and really show out this year.
In your final season, what do you want your legacy to be?
Really, the thing I'm looking forward to the most is just having an opportunity to go back and, spend another season with my best friends, my brothers. But really, we're just trying to play some meaningful football in November. That's always been the goal, and we still strive towards that. So, yeah.
Finally, Zach, everyone has a support staff, someone that's helped them gotten to this point, whether it be family, friends. What would you say to them as you embark on this final chapter?
Thank you to everybody. My parents, my family have been my great supporters, my parents especially, but I got to give a huge shout out to my mom because, she's been a cornerstone in my life, and she would do anything for me, and I am very blessed to have that woman in my life.
Allegheny linebacker Zach Altenbaugh. Zach, really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Here on KDKA Plus.
35-0. That is the score. The President's all over the Gators here at Frank B. Fuhrer Field in Meadville, Pennsylvania. It's now time to take a look at the top plays from the President's Athletic Conference with Ethan Spazarski from Muhlenberg.
Hello everyone and welcome back. I'm Ethan Spazarski. We're getting back into a normal schedule this week, so let's get into the top 5 plays from around the PAC. With number 5, Jean-Gary Joseph of the Westminster Titans does his best Aaron Donald impression, throwing down Geneva's Caleb Romano, for the sack almost instantly on 2nd down. At number 4, we stick in Geneva with this 44-yard dime that was thrown from Romano to wide receiver Keaton Baker down the sideline. Here at number 3 this week, Waynesburg wide receiver Tyler Richmond shows off the hops, making this acrobatic catch over the Teal defender to get Waynesburg their first points of the game. The number 2 play, we're staying with Richmond, as here he makes the great touchdown catch, but a sensational grab while facing the pass interference from the Teal defense. The number 1 play this week, though, does belong to Brett Phillips and Elijah Moffitt, as these two not only got the conversion on 4th and 14, but the game-winning touchdown right here to get the first conference win for Bethany in 2 years. Well, that wraps up this week's edition of Top 5 Plays. We hope you enjoyed these plays from the past week. A lot of talent being shown off throughout the entire PAC on both sides of the ball. That'll do it for us this week. For myself, Ethan Spazarski, I say so long from Waynesburg. We'll see you next week with another Top 5 Plays.
And we are back 35-0. President's on top of the Gators, and we will come back with more of halftime here at Frank B. Fuhrer Field. Oh, we have a senior interview with Allegheny College. It's one of their senior players.
There's nothing like football, and you know, it's the most beautiful game, and you know you're gonna miss it when you're done, and it's especially in a place like this. It's really special to be here and to be able to play football. So, you know, the relationships you have, and you know all the time you spend together, you know, playing on and off the field is something that you know you're definitely gonna miss.
It's crazy. It flew by real fast. I'm getting old. I mean, I've played a lot of meaningful football here. Been starting since I was a freshman, and just a lot of trials, a lot of tribulations. Going down my sophomore year for a few games, made me realize that it's not forever. I'm not as immune as I think to certain things, and it made me just really value the games that I have here. Every single game has been really meaningful.
The thing I love most about being on the football team here at Allegheny is just the relationships that I have with my buddies on the team and the coaches, especially me, the defensive staff. It's all very tight-knit with the players. We have a great time, and just relationships I have with all those guys is something that I look forward to every day and keeps me motivated to keep moving on every day with the program.
One of the big reasons I chose Allegheny is because I came in and I did not know what I wanted to do at all. Being a liberal arts school, you have the opportunity to take something from 8 different disciplines, and you can really, it helps you find your way. When, like I said, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I took an intro class my freshman year, and I fell in love with the program and the professors, and the nature of the academics here really help you find your way, especially if you don't know what you want.
That close-knit community, professors wanting to see students do well and students respecting professors has always been something that I loved about Allegheny, something I will always continue to love about Allegheny, and it's something that I push to every single recruit, every single student, to just get in there and talk to your professors. They're game changers.
Until you truly come and experience how much the professors are willing to do for you and how much they can help you through not just academics but life in general, it really is something that it's surprising how much the professors here care.
I think these guys are guys I'm gonna be able to talk to and be able to be around for the rest of my life. Beyond appreciative for everyone I've met in my time here, but I think going through the adversities with these guys is gonna be what I miss the most. It's tough and things aren't always great. They're not always gonna be sunshine and rainbows, but there's no group I'd rather do it with. There's no group of guys that I'd rather sit there and go to war with every Saturday. There's no group of guys I'd rather wake up at 6 a.m., go to a lift with. No guys I've cried with these guys, I've cheered with these guys, blood, sweat, and tears all the time. And I think that's just made a bond that you can't really replace anywhere else.
From every corner of every county.
Reporting in Pine Township.
In Armstrong County.
Reporting in Moon Township.
In Dunbar, Fayette County.
In Westmoreland County.
In Murraysville. Wherever news happens that impacts you.
The damage isn't isolated to just one area. Multiple communities have a mess to deal with, and KDKA is covering it all for you tonight.
KDKA will be there.
Reporting in Aspinall.
In Canonsburg, Washington County.
Reporting live in Cranberry Township.
This is our newsroom. KDKA TV News.
Iron City Ninja Party Zone is for everybody. We are a fun, innovative facility featuring a convenient, hassle-free, and fun environment for your next birthday. With exciting obstacles and Ninja Warrior courses, anyone can build strength and connect with friends. Our dedicated staff ensures every child enjoys a thrilling adventure while exploring our brand new facility. Ready for a challenge and unforgettable excitement? Contact us today for a one-of-a-kind birthday experience your kids will never forget.
Quiet on set? No way. This is Jake's time to shine, and Ryan's, and our crew. Cameras, check. Drones, check. Checking that shot we just checked? Double check. We ain't got time to chill. We're out here capturing this action. This is when we get to work, to bring you every moment live, no matter what. Broadcasting changes everything. Transform how you experience the game with JRM Video Production.
It's time to rediscover the original Voodoo Brewing Company pub in beautiful downtown Meadville. Enjoy world-renowned craft beer, delicious and unique cocktails made with our new lineup of VBC spirits and one-of-a-kind food items. Follow our Facebook and Instagram pages to stay updated on our series of live music. And if you're looking to take your celebration to the next level or host a private event, look no further than our production facility, only at Voodoo Brewing Company.
It's Potomac Furniture's 75th anniversary sale. Celebrate our birthday with 40, 50, and 60% savings. Stop in today, Route 19 in McMurray, or visit PotomacFurniture.com. Furniture of distinction at a price you can afford.
To learn more, visit gcc.edu.
Back at Allegheny, well, the band Meatloaf said 2 out of 3 ain't bad. But how about going 5 for 5? Washington and Jefferson has had 5 drives. All 5 of them have resulted in touchdowns. The first one on just a great drive, 6 plays, 64 yards, took 3 minutes. Kobe DeRosa, a 2-yard score for the first points of the game. Then Jake Pugh found John Peduzzi, a 14-yard touchdown, which another incredible play. As you take a look at some of the first half highlights, Pugh has been slinging the ball all over the yard. He has delivered time and time again with McCosco, who has 2 touchdowns in the game. Back-to-back scores from 9 yards out and also from 23 yards out. This one, another deep passing play where it's been McCosco and Peduzzi. It's their show. It's their world, and we're just kind of living in it. McCosco, there was the 23-yard touchdown. And then Pugh found Peduzzi from 29 yards away. It was set up by this interception, the first interception by Brinzik of the day, 11th of the season from Angelo Volumino, whose Thomas Jefferson Jaguars won a Whitfield Championship game earlier today. Pugh escapes by Peduzzi, backyard football, makes it look easy. And the stats are just a direct indication of that. Pugh has thrown for 260 yards, 363 total yards of offense. W&J almost doubling up Allegheny in terms of first downs. The only thing is really the penalty yards that you can point to in a negative light for Washington and Jefferson. But when you look individually, McCosco 135 yards receiving, 2 touchdowns. Peduzzi 4 grabs, 69 yards and 2 touchdowns. They're also running the ball pretty effectively. Volpatti with 43 yards on the ground and 6 carries. DeRosa with the touchdown, 7 attempts for 34 yards. Patricic has also touched it 6 times.
Yeah, we said this before. It looks like a clinic out there, and the stats clearly show that. You look at Volpatti and DeRosa, they're both rushing for upwards of 5 yards a carry, if not more. Volpatti up at 7.2 at this point. Patricic still at 3.5. That's a winning rush every single time he touches the ball. Everybody is doing well on the offensive side and the defensive side. They're showing up too. All the big names are doing great, whether it's Justin Johns, Avery Keith, and Dawson Dietz.
Brindick only 7 of 21 for 84 yards and an interception. Couple minutes before we return, and we'll kick it off with Washington and Jefferson getting the ball to begin the second half when you return to Meadville.
It's more than a move. It's a new job for her. A new baseball team for him. And for Badger, it's a new yard with more room to roam. It's more than a move, and we're more than a truck.
If you need insurance, you need an agency that's sharp. The Sharp Insurance Agency is an independent agency and distinguish themselves by providing face-to-face customer service and reviewing coverage to provide the best possible value for their clients.
Hi, I'm Mike Sharp. Lean on my years of experience in the Pittsburgh area to find you the best insurance coverage, because when insurance companies compete, you win.
The Sharp Insurance Agency. Contact us today to have your personal or business insurance professionally reviewed.
At Laway, we understand the power of personalization. From hats to water bottles, our expert services include screen printing, embroidery, and a variety of promotional items. We also specialize in team sports gear. What truly sets Laway apart is our dedicated design team, including our talented on-staff graphic designers and exponential customer service. Choose Laway to make a lasting impression on and off the field.
Trout Plumbing is a registered and insured master plumber that services the South Hills. They offer a variety of services, including camera inspection and dye testing. Trout Plumbing also offers a veteran and senior citizen discount. When in doubt, call the Trout at 412-983-8106.
It's Potomac Furniture's 75th anniversary sale. Celebrate our birthday with 40, 50, and 60% savings. Stop in today, Route 19 in McMurray, or visit PotomacFurniture.com. Furniture of distinction at a price you can afford.
Washington and Jefferson leads 35-0 here at Allegheny. Mangino, if you are Allegheny, you're going to be kicking the ball away to the Presidents. Presidents offense will get it again. 5 consecutive drives, all 5 drives scoring touchdowns. If you're Allegheny offensively, though, what do you want to see when the Gators take the field?
When they get the ball, you want to see them behave as though it's a 0-0 game. You want them to go out there and do what they did on a couple of those drives where they had nice, long, sustained drives. They didn't end up the way they wanted them to, obviously, without points, but they were able to show themselves to be able to move the ball, to keep things going. They had some success passing the ball, some running the ball. You just need to be able to put some plays together, get some first downs, and demonstrate that you can do something with the ball.
That's the first time Garrett Paxton has been able to do anything in this game, kicking it away, and it goes into the end zone for a touchback. And Kobe DeRosa seemed pretty upset about it. Obviously not getting a chance to return any so far, as it'll be taken out to the 25-yard line. Scores around the conference. CMU starting to pull ahead against Case Western. It's 17-7. That's in the third quarter. All games in the third. Geneva on top of Waynesburg. Grove City holding strong against Westminster. 20-3 in a 17-point game. And Teals beating Bethany 24-10 in West Virginia.
And it looks as though it's going to set up the situation where you have a three-way tie for the top of the PAC. And then what does all of that mean? What's the tiebreaker? What does it mean for these teams going in the playoffs?
Looking forward to talking to Commissioner Joe Onderko. He's here in the building as Washington and Jefferson, if this holds, would receive the PAC championship trophy. They would receive the banner. He'll have that presentation for you after the game if it indeed holds the same after pick up a 5 for DeRosa on the end around.
So W&J up 35-0. And you got to wonder, Jake Pugh in for this drive. Will he be in for a drive after this, regardless of what this ends up being, whether a touchdown or a punt?
And they give it to Volpatti, running to the far side. Volpatti picks up the first down out of bounds at the 40. I would imagine. Go ahead.
Being able to bounce it outside like that, get the first down, keep the drive going. You mentioned earlier the W&J, they scored on every single one of their possessions. And you want to be able to have this drive. If this is going to be Jake's last drive, you want it to be successful and just finish this thing off, then get him to the sideline, rest him for whatever happens in the next week or so when it comes to the playoffs.
I'd imagine they're going to keep him in for a little bit longer, partly to try to churn as much clock as possible as well. As it's been a lot of runs so far, and why not? As Volpatti picked up 10.
That's a nice run. And what they're showing, too, is that they are comfortable on either side of the ball. It really doesn't make a difference. This time they're running behind the mics over on that right side. Big 10-yard pickup, first down for W&J.
Colton Colucci on the tackle. Colucci, who Braden Lair said he's lost 20 pounds since he came to Allegheny. From the start of the year to now, he kind of looks like a different player as Patricic gains a couple. Jahad Muhammad, freshman from Georgia, makes a tackle after a gain of 3.
He's a beast out there. He's very lean, put on a lot of weight muscle-wise to go along with the losing of the extra body fat. And he is just so athletic, flying all over the field. The #1 tackler for the Gators this year.
Got to say I'm a little surprised that W&J snapping it with 25 seconds on the clock as dangerous pass from Pugh was almost intercepted by Joseph looking for Ray Holmes.
That was probably the most contested pass that Pugh has had so far, where he threw it into an area where he would have had to have had his receiver make a really outstanding play to be able to get this. Watch this as he's rolling out, throws it, and just beyond the outreach of his receiver, almost threw an interception.
3rd and 7 for Pugh. The lineup, McCosco to the far side, Rosati to the near side. Lined up with Peduzzi. Cernuto also on that side. Pugh looks for Peduzzi. He's got it. First down and more. John Peduzzi sits down at the 32.
The deep route is so threatening that the corner has to play off, and they give a lot of cushion to Peduzzi and to McCosco. And so what Peduzzi just basically did was run a 15-yard dig route, turned around, the ball was waiting for him, and the defensive back was a good 5-7 yards off of him.
And we talked about this offensive line. They really shuffled for the Westminster game, and if not look back, only allowed 6 sacks this season, a lot of those being early on in the year. Kobe DeRosa, strong run, pushes forward to the 25 to gain a 7.
And another great mix. They do everything so well. When they want to, they run out to the right side. So you try to kind of key that way. Then they run to the left. Then they run up the middle. And then they're running these little short routes. Then they're running go routes. And it just really confuses the defense, having no real understanding of whether it's down or distance, what play's coming up next.
Seabury combined in with the tackle on with Colucci as well after the gain of 7. It's 2nd down and 3. Pugh on the fake, looks to escape. Pugh will run. Pugh gets away, slides down at the 20. He picks up a first down. Pugh's able to get 5 yards and avoided the hit at the end too.
Yeah, that was important there. Normally does not do the quarterback slide, but he knew he was about to get pounded if he didn't. Watch this. Knew he had to go down because there were 2 defenders that were just running full speed, ready to make contact with him if he decided to stay up.
Yeah, with Seabury as well as Azri Matsuda. They were collapsing in on Pugh. First down and 10 in the red zone now at the 20-yard line. Pugh fakes the handoff, delivers. Rosati incomplete. Dropped it at the 20.
Oh, he had a lot of room too. McCosco was laying a block on a quarterback out there. There was some help that was coming from the inside, but it looked as though that could have easily been a nice 5 to 7 yard pickup. Just not able to make the connection. It's interesting. The first half, Pugh was absolutely remarkable, practically perfect. There was only 1 incompletion the entire first half. And now coming out the second half, it doesn't seem to have the exact same accuracy that he had in that first half.
Well, I think to defend Pugh a little bit, that is a catchable ball for Rosati to try to make the grab. But just a little bit, especially on the one that was almost intercepted, kind of notice, and seemed like a little bit of miscommunication there on the RPO with Volpatti as the pass is caught by Peduzzi and out of bounds, where it seemed like Volpatti went the opposite way. Pugh tried to fake to the right side. Volpatti went right to the left. But Peduzzi is able to gain 5 yards, maybe 6, and set up 3rd and 4.
Yeah, back in sync with the wide receivers, running that out route. They run that a lot. Go out there and get 5-7 yards, get the first down. It's one of those ones where they're lulling the cornerbacks. The cornerbacks are playing so far off, they're willing to give up that route like that. So why not go ahead and take it?
Ball at the 14 as Cernuto goes in motion in tight on the formation left side of the line. They'll hand it off and run that way. Volpatti breaks off one tackle. Volpatti still going 15, close to the 10. He needed the 10 to pick up a first down. Big hit delivered as Jerome Williams makes the stop. Elijah Banks also combines in to make the tackle 1 yard shy of a first down.
That was a great run. He was dead to rights, back closer to the line of scrimmage, maybe even behind the line of scrimmage, was able to spin out of that, saw the opportunity, and tried to get to that first down marker, just a little bit short. 4th and 1 here.
W&J in T formation again. They got Holmes, DeRosa, and Volpatti as the backs, with Pugh going under center on 4th down and 1. Pugh hands it off. It's Holmes again. It's this exact same play. And like it worked last time, it works again.
Yes, it does. They are confident that they put up their big guys against anybody else, and they'll just go ahead and own the line. It isn't as though they're interested in this, the tush push or anything. Just give it to the big back, have him go over the top, and they're confident that he's going to be able to knock backwards anybody who he hits.
Sets up 1st down and goal at the 9. 9.5 left, 3rd quarter. 5.5 gone by on this drive on the clock for the Presidents. They give it to Patricic with blocking to the far side. Can he get the edge? Patricic spins his way inside the 5. He's down right at the 3 yard line. It's a good gain of 6.
That was a good example of how you bring out the line. You have a couple of pulling linemen come out in front of him. He waits, he pauses, sees this opening, and then slices through it, able to get a nice pickup here for 3rd and goal to go from the 3. The 2nd and goal to go from the 3.
Patricic remains the back in the pistol with Pugh. Ball's on the far side hash. Peduzzi and McCoskey with 2 touchdowns each, line up on the near side, but why not? Give it to Patricic, but he's going to be a half a yard shy.
Yeah, that was very close. Very, very close.
It'll be 3rd and goal inside the 1 yard line for the Presidents. Good blocking there. Colucci tried to collapse in, but Patricic fell into the end zone. Knee ruled down, though, before he crossed the goal line. So they'll run the T formation again. First 2 times it's gone to Holmes. Pugh under center, 3rd and goal. This time they'll give it to Volpatti, and he's dragged down. Zach Aldenbaugh with the stop in the backfield. It loses a yard. 4th and goal from the 2 yard line coming up. Aldenbaugh read it completely well. After the last 2 times they went to Holmes, Aldenbaugh not fooled at all, collapsing down.
Oh, he did a great job coming off that edge like that, reading it, penetrating through, able to stop him before he was able to get any kind of momentum moving forward, knocked him back for a yard.
It's 4th down and goal at the 2. Patricic's the back. Pistol formation for Pugh. McCoskey, Peduzzi lined up near side. Pugh looks. Cernuto at the goal line. Touchdown, Washington and Jefferson. They convert on 4th down and keep the streak alive. 6 drives, 6 touchdowns, 41 points on the board.
You just cannot stop. You can hope to slow them down a little bit, but when it comes right down to it, there are just so many options for W&J at this point. You don't know who you're going to cover. If he decides he wants to throw the ball, Zach Cernuto has been fantastic at those clutch positions all year long, had a great performance this week, and this time able to get that touchdown reception.
Devin White on to attempt the extra point. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up, and the kick is good. Half the quarter has gone by. 7:31 to go, 3rd quarter of play. We'll talk to PAC Commissioner Joe Underko coming up next on KDKA+.
It's Potomac Furniture's 75th anniversary sale. Celebrate our birthday with 40, 50, and 60% savings. Stop in today, Route 19 in McMurray, or visit PotomacFurniture.com. Furniture of distinction at a price you can afford.
At Laway, we understand the power of personalization. From hats to water bottles, our expert services include screen printing, embroidery, and a variety of promotional items. We also specialize in team sports gear. What truly sets Laway apart is our dedicated design team, including our talented on-staff graphic designers and exponential customer service. Choose Laway to make a lasting impression on and off the field.
When you step through that door or shake their hands, will you be prepared? When you stand up for a client or walk into that meeting, will you be ready to prove to them that you deserve to be there?
When you come to Washington and Jefferson, you will be.
Washington and Jefferson College. Are you ready?
When I'm seeing the first alert weather day, I will text out the other team members.
The text chain's the start of it, when we all start to weigh in and kind of collaborate.
Not only are we alerting you, we are alerting each other.
Always discussing how this weather is going to impact everyone.
Washington and Jefferson leads 42-0 against Allegheny halfway through the third quarter of play in Meadville. Gators will get the football. First drive of the second half for Trevor Brinzik and company. On senior day for Allegheny, final game of the PAC regular season schedule. Allegheny at 1-8. Washington and Jefferson at 8-1 on the season. Looking to make it 9-1 and win a PAC title as it bounces a couple of times. Geiswhite picks it up just inside the 15-yard line, and Geiswhite makes his way to the 30. And a lot of excited presidents, why wouldn't there be, on the far side of the field after the special teams tackle. Get a chance now to talk to Commissioner Joe Underko in the PAC. And what a great time to be able to talk to you, Commissioner. Thank you for joining us because there's a lot to sort out here.
There is. Austin, Robert, always a pleasure to join you guys. Thanks for having me.
So Washington and Jefferson, Carnegie Mellon, Grove City. In all likelihood, we saw some of the scores that were going on in the PAC. Grove City as well as CMU currently leading in their matchups. If everything holds and everyone ends up being 9-1, Washington and Jefferson would be awarded the PAC championship. But what could happen in terms of the playoffs?
Yeah, that's a great question. First of all, everything you said is correct. If they all finish 9-1, W&J would win the three-way tiebreaker, and they would get the automatic bid to the NCAA playoffs. But your question is then, what about Carnegie Mellon and Grove City? From everything we've seen, and this is new territory for us because we've just expanded from 32 to 40 teams in the D3 playoffs. And also they're changing how they're picking the at-large teams this year. They're doing it by a power index as opposed to a committee selecting them. Looking at the power index numbers, seeing where the teams are, we are fairly confident if all three teams win, we will have three teams in the NCAA playoffs.
Which is significant news for the PAC.
It's unprecedented. We've had two a couple times, but never three. Yeah.
Second down and 8 for Brinzik. Bad snap. Brinzik has to fall on it, and he picks it up before he's tackled down at the 21-yard line. So do you think that if it was the old precedent, the old playoff format, that this would indeed be the case, or would somebody who's 9-1 be left out potentially?
Well, there's two components to that. I think if we were still at 32 teams instead of 40, yes, I think somebody would be left out. There are 28 automatic bids in the country. So last year, for instance, when there were only 32 teams, you only got 4 at-large selections. Carnegie Mellon was 9-1 last year and didn't get a sniff of getting an at-large. And I said at the time, if this had been 40, they would have got in. I believed that then, and I still believe that. So those extra 8 at-large teams make a huge, huge difference. Pretty much every 9-1 team that doesn't win their conference is going to make the NCAA playoffs this year.
Brinzik sacked down by Dawson D to the 15-yard line, and Allegheny will have to punt.
So when you look at this setup the way that it is right now, with W&J winning the conference, do you have any insights of how the playoff format's going to go, where they're going to be placed, the seeding, and whether or not they'll be able to get a home game as a conference champion?
Yeah, that's where we kind of get into little uncharted territory because we're, with the 40 teams instead of 32, you're expanding to a 6-week playoff as opposed to a 5-team, which means next week you're going to have what are essentially play-in games. The 7th and 10th seeded teams and the 8th and 9th seeded teams in each region playing each other to get to the final 32. Based, again, on where our power index rating is, I think if all three teams win this week, they're probably not going to play next week. I can't guarantee that, but they look like they would be in the top 24 teams, which should get them out of the first week of the playoffs. Now, to your question, home game. That's a little more iffy. They all have one loss, so that hurts. But so much of that depends on what everybody else does today. How many other teams above them take losses? You could end up with a home game, but I'd say there's no guarantees to that. I think it's definite, though, that I shouldn't even say anything's definite this year. Like I said, it's brand new. But I think our chances are very good of getting all three of them out of the opening weekend if they all hold serve today.
Peduzzi picks up a first down and a gain of 13.
Yeah.
Which would be really interesting because there's been a lot of speculation, Austin, about what's going to happen next week. Will there be a game? Will it be W&J? Will it be CMU? Will it be Grove City? Will they be playing at home or not?
Yeah.
And now you're saying, Commissioner, that all three of these teams may be able to have the privileges of just sitting back and waiting, getting a week of rest, and letting other schools have to worry about trying to play into the show.
I think that is a distinct possibility. I can't say it with 100% certainty. Again, this is uncharted territory. But from everything we've read, everything we know about how they're supposed to set up this bracket, that would appear to be the case. If we can stay all three in the top 24 of the MPI, which is the power index basically, that should get them to the second weekend and out of those play-in games. Now, I'll say this: if they, for some reason, they don't, and they're a 7, then they will have a home game next week, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So against probably one of the weaker teams out of the 40, probably one of the auto bid teams. But I think, from everything we've seen, I mean, they're like at 16, 18, 20, 22. They're right in that range right there. So again, with a win, none of them should go down. Let's put it that way. It's a question of how much they go up, and also, like I said, what do the other teams around them do? That's the one thing you can't count on.
DeRosa continues to drive as Kellen Stahl has replaced Jake Pugh in at quarterback for Washington and Jefferson. Something that Mangino, you were talking about, potentially was going to happen as this game continued on. How exciting is this for the conference? I mean, this has to be.
It's a thrilling day. I mean, you guys know, I've been in this conference for over 2 decades. And seen it really grow into something that I think is pretty special. And if we were able to get 3 teams in the NCAA playoffs, that's unprecedented. We've had 2 teams a couple of times, as I said, but the last time any conference in Division III got 3 teams in was 2016. Wow. Wisconsin got 3 teams in that year. Now, granted, that's a smaller bracket. Like I said, it was much more difficult to get an at-large. But I think I'm really happy, obviously, with the expanded bracket. But I'm also really happy with using the power index. I felt at times like we've got the short end of the stick in some of the committee decisions. Mm-hmm. And again, you're still going to have a committee setting up the bracket, so you got to be careful there. But I think the power index takes some of the subjectivity out of it, if that makes sense.
Colton Colucci with a deflection on the pass from Kellen Stahl. Commissioner Ondurko joining us up here in the booth. How is the power index broken down? You see the top 25, whether it be the coaches poll, D3football.com. When people look at those polls, how much should they take from that as potentially realistic for how teams could be seeded and is viewed by the committee?
Yeah, now I am not a statistician. Let me say this up front. So I'm going to give you a very non-statistical answer to that. Essentially, what the MPI is based on an algorithm that was called pairwise. It's been used in NCAA hockey for several years, and now they've introduced it to all the other sports. It basically is a complicated way of comparing your performance against every other team in the country. Without getting into the details of it, we had a demonstration of it at a commissioner's meeting. We're really impressed with it. It's a former D3 assistant commissioner that wrote this program. And like I said, they have the benefit of having used this in D3 hockey for several years, and they love it. So, basically what's going to happen is the old days of the committee picking the teams is over. What the committee is going to do is they're going to put the bracket together based on what the NPI numbers are, and then they're going to staff the games, essentially. It's a sea change for how we do things in D3 football playoffs.
Kellen Stahl, quick pass. Rosati on the reception. He's dragged down. Loss of 4 yards back to the 20-yard line. Solid play there made by the Gators.
One of the things that teams really want is the performance on the field is what ultimately determines all of this.
Right.
Because so oftentimes you're going to have teams benefit from the preseason polling numbers.
Sure, exactly.
Where, like as an example, W&J is going to win the conference outright, but there are going to be polls at the end of the season that they will be below either CMU or Grove City.
Yes.
And it seems as though they're benefiting from what they did last year because of earlier in the season and all. Is this new system, this new formula, really going to take into account what only happens on the field, or will it tie in the rating system as well?
No. It won't tie in anything ratings. It's exclusively on the field. Now, let me say this as a proviso to all this. It's not a perfect system. And the reason I say that is that the body of data for football is only 10 games. This is going to be much, much more effective if you're in basketball with 25, if you're in baseball with 40 games, and you have that much more data to crunch, you can really drill down on the numbers better. And the other thing is, every sport sets what they call the dials a little differently. In other words, the committee can adjust. What's most important? Is it win percentage? Is it strength of schedule? Is it, they've got a bunch of different metrics that are primary criteria, and they can weigh that a little differently. Football's weighed a little differently than, say, soccer or volleyball. Win percentage matters much more in football than it does in the other sports. So knowing that, that's going to impact how you schedule. That's going to impact a lot of things. And I think the reason they did that is they knew they'd get a ton of blowback if you have a 6-4 team get an at-large bid and a 9-1 team didn't. And with Wisconsin and some of the options out there that play really power schedules, that's a possibility unless you really weigh the win-loss heavier.
We've got a couple seconds left. Is there anything else you think we should know? There's a lot.
Buckle up. It's an exciting day. We'll have a lot of announcements tomorrow for everybody. And again, guys, thanks for your great coverage this year. Always great to have you on board.
Commissioner Underko, really appreciate your time as we go to the fourth quarter at Allegheny.
This awesome gift is from my grandma. I use free pay policy from GBA Life.
What does it do?
It accumulates cash value, helps protect my future insurability, and it may even earn dividends.
What's so great about that?
My policy will grow with me. Plus, I get access to the GBA Life Youth Leaders Program, scholarships, and more.
Oh.
You might be interested in a GBA Life annuity. You're probably thinking about retiring soon, right, Mrs. Jones?
From heating and cooling to a large array of construction equipment, Herc Rentals has the gear you need to get the job done. Herc Rentals is already a staple in several communities across the United States and Canada and have been serving our customers' needs since 1965. With a catalog of equipment that spans the spectrum of almost every kind of solution you can think of. To learn more about Herc Rentals, visit hercrentals.com or call us at 1-888-777-2700.
Whether watching locally or across the nation, viewers turn to KDKA TV when big stories break in the Pittsburgh region. When news breaks, watch KDKA TV and the CBS Evening News every weeknight starting at 4.
Thanks to Commissioner Joe Underko for joining us during the break. Always great to talk to him. He's incredible.
Absolutely wonderful having him on. Wealth of knowledge, and he is just an amazing commissioner. What he's been able to do these past couple of years for the PAC has been fantastic.
Devin Wyant, who was 3 of 6 coming into today with a long of 35 on field goal attempts, is able to knock it through from 26 yards out and extend the lead 45-0 now. So how about Washington and Jefferson, again, scoring on every drive, now 7 of 7. That's the first time it wasn't a touchdown.
They continue to do well. It's great when you're able to bring in the number 2 quarterback, give him an opportunity, and see what he's able to do. Rest Jake Pugh for the rest of this game. No more reasons for him to be out there and risk the possibility of injury. So go ahead and see what you have deeper in the team as well. This is really important, not only for the rest of the run of this season, but it's also important for next season. When you think about teams that are able to have longevity like this, it's about getting quality reps. They have a really good JV program here at WNJ, but when you're able to get them to play against the top-tier talent of the rest of the league and you're able to get them into those quality reps in legit games at the varsity level, they then are able to step in so much more easily when they get the opportunity when the seniors graduate.
Liam Campbell will kick it away. Dursey and Geisweit are back deep for Allegheny. We start the fourth quarter of play after the field goal from Devin Wyatt. That's fascinating that there might not end up being a game next week between any of the for any of the three teams, as Geisweit up past the 25-yard line to the 28.
And that would be a statement to how good, if they all get in, and they should, and they all get a bye, that is a statement that the entire system recognizes the difficulty of these three schools to be able to play each other, along with a couple of other schools like Case Western, Westminster, and others, to be able to have this record to say, you know what, these guys don't have to play in, if you will, as Joe Underco just talked about. They are legitimately in these playoffs. They deserve the bye week for next week.
Significantly. As Brinzik lines up with the ball on the near side of the formation, two receivers line up each side. Baraducci's the back. They fake it his way, and Brinzik will throw. Brinzik delivers downfield looking for Austin Williams, incomplete. Broken up, and some other reserve players in for Washington and Jefferson defensively that have stepped into this game, and it's always good to be able to see more guys be able to get some reps defensively or offensively. We've already seen with Kellen Stahl in there. That was Telfair, the freshman defensive back from Cleveland, Ohio, on the breakup.
Yeah, when you're going to get these guys those quality reps once again, and when you look at the route that was run and the pass attempt, he was looking this way the entire time, and he threw into what ultimately ended up triple coverage just because he had a little bit too much of an arc on that ball.
Brinzik will run on second down and 10. Lowers his shoulder, gets to the 31, 32-yard line. But imagine that this is going to be Trevor Brinzik's game for the remainder of the way. Let the senior and the rest of these seniors be able to play their last quarter of football at Allegheny.
Yeah, Coach Layer said to us before the game that it's about letting the seniors play as much as they want to play. This is their time. This is their day. And this is the last time they're going to be able to put on pads. This is a very emotional time for college athletes to say, you know, I'm never going to do this again. I'm never going to be able to put on these pads. You want to be able to have them out there for as long as they want to be out there.
Four eligibles to the far side. It's Geisweit once again to the near side, and Brinzik's looking that way. Throws up a jump ball. Geisweit, incomplete. Telfair with another breakup.
Great coverage. He is really good as he's able to match up against a really good wide receiver, go with him step for step, and then realize the ball's coming, go up there, jump with one hand, get in front of that ball, deflect it away. He's going to be special.
So Brinzik will punt it away. And one thing that has been very noticeable with the three top teams at the top of the conference and also the bottom half of the conference, no bottom five team in the conference has played a top team, whether it be W&J, Grove City, CMU, for example, within 25 points at the very end of the game.
Wow.
Final score has not been close at the very end. Is what one of Braden Layer's goals was, to make sure that it was different in this game and try to, obviously win the game, but if not, keep it as close as possible and as competitive as a game as possible. But that just kind of shows how strong the top teams are, and some of the teams that are still rebuilding, looking to find their footing.
And a team like Westminster, they are really up and coming. I mean, they had the big upset against Case Westerns this year. They played a couple of other teams really, really well, kept it tight. It seems as though they are just a year away from really contending once again. I mean, they were a dominant force in the PAC just a few years ago. They're looking at being able to have that resurgence back into this again. How about this one? We didn't get much of an opportunity to talk about Pugh as he wrapped up his time.
Good carry for Dom Barca, the junior running back from Norwin High School. He ends up gaining about 3-4 yards.
19 of 22. 5 touchdowns, 295 yards, quarterback rating of 274. I didn't realize numbers went that high.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's just about perfect for Jake Pugh, and a great performance from him today. And it's a great way to finish out your regular season. Probably cement himself as PAC Player of the Year again. Especially you win the conference.
Right.
You get the outright bid. It's even more of a feather in his cap. Kellen Stahl runs out of bounds after a gain of 3.
Here, you got to wonder who would even challenge him at this point for that position. I mean, unless it's one of his own wide receivers that would say, okay, their stats are really great as a wide receiver. But then again, you would argue, well, they're only that because of who he is as a quarterback.
Well, I think Zane Colley at Waynesburg is definitely a candidate to be in the top 3. He's had an incredible season. Not the season that Pugh has had, but he's another strong candidate. Even though Waynesburg's record not indicative of the way that Colley has played this year. As Stahl on 3rd down and 5 throws over the middle. The pass is caught. And a first down for the Presidents. Nick Harling makes the reception.
Still looked really good, poised, knew where he was going to go. And it's one of those ones where they run the same plays and they just plug different people into the positions and they find themselves just as open. I mean, they know how to find the open spots and make a real nice target for the quarterback, knows where to throw it, completion, first down.
Samuel Cato made the tackle. Good run. First down pickup and much more for Andrew Sharp, a name I'm very familiar with, calling Baldwin games. He's out there getting a carry for Washington and Jefferson and moving the chains. It's just like he ran last year in high school.
Look at this. Able to split the defenders with some power, leaning forward, able to get a nice big pickup in the first down.
He's a tough runner, tough player. Overall in the season has run for over 132 yards. Does have a touchdown this year. He remains in the game and gets the handoff. Sharp is spun down after just a gain of 1. And Israel Matsuda on the tackle.
Well, and he's a freshman, right?
Yes.
Well, when you think about the seniors that they'll be graduating at the running back position, they'll be losing Owen Patricic. They'll be losing.
That's it, though. DeRosa and Volpatti are back. But they run 3 different backs, so they're set.
And he's showing himself right now, you know what? You got to put me into this mix. And Sirianni loves to run 3-4 running backs on a consistent basis anyway.
They put Cam Mulvaney, the junior, back in there now, 27 in the pistol behind Kellen Stahl. Inside 11 minutes left in regulation. All reserves in there for Washington and Jefferson now. Some guys that have seen starts throughout the year, including Eddie Nkocha at right tackle.
And like I said earlier, this is a great opportunity for them. You are getting it's one thing to show yourself in practice, and coach, look at what I'm doing in practice. It really comes down to what are you doing in a game, especially when you're able to go in there and play as a backup, and you're looking at and you're lining up against Allegheny, where most of their starters are still in defense.
Stahl looks to throw. It's caught on the quick pass by Mulvaney. Mulvaney gets brought down at the 30-yard line. Multiple players converging in there to make the tackle, including John Mark Crawford.
Stahl once again, very poised back there, willing to wait, see how things open up, dump off the pass, get a few yards, set up a third, and what is clearly convertible here to 3rd and 6 for this team.
W&J converts 55.5% of the time on 3rd down. It's 6th in the entire division. So good at being able to pick up first downs. Came in today with 206 on the year. Really good job of moving the football. And Stahl sends Mulvaney in motion to the far side. He looks that way. Stahl steps up, look for somewhere to go, but he gets brought down. Tackled down once again by John Mark Crawford and sets up 4th down.
And this may very well be the first. Now, you're kind of in this no man's land, aren't you?
Yeah.
where you're really too close to punt, you're too far away for a field goal attempt, and you're left with needing to figure out a way of being able to convert this on 4th down.
It's 4th down and 7. I'll leave the offense out there with the ball at the 31.
If they're going to go for it, we need to hear the crowd behind your Gator defense.
This is so important for the Gators, especially the seniors on this Gators defense, to be able to stop them.
Set up a screen, and it's deflected, knocked away, incomplete. It's the first time that a W&J possession does not end in points.
That was a really good down for Allegheny. Able to get pressure on Stahl, not able to have the right touch on it. They had coverage on the running back on the screenplay. And just something you can find a win, right? You're looking for something you can hang your hat on, and that is one. You're able to stop them on a 4th down conversion and get the ball back. And now, are you able to put up some points? You don't want to get blanked here. You don't want to finish up the season finale and lose without putting up at least a touchdown on the board.
Pistol formation for Brinzik in the final 9 minutes. He'll hand it off to Baraducci, and Baraducci breaks off a couple of tacklers, a couple of yards shy of the 40-yard line. Ends up gaining 7. So in terms of the national recognition in the conference, when W&J beat Grove City in Week 7, the Presidents jumped into the D3Football.com and AFCA Top 25 polls for the first time. So this week, W&J on the bye, 217 points in that former poll, the D3Football.com, ranking 18th. 287 points in the latter poll, the AFCA Top 25. That ranks them at 19th. Grove City, Carnegie Mellon are also top 25 in the poll. W&J is the 12th ranked team in the Massey rankings. We're talking about the rankings. 22nd team in the Hansen rankings, 20th in the NCAA Power Index. And it's the Power Index as Baraducci picks up a first down right near midfield. That Power Index is what Commissioner Ondurka was talking about. That is what is looked at so heavily by the selection committee to determine the best teams and where they should be seated.
And when you look at the rankings right now, and I was talking about this when Joe Ondurka was here, is that it's difficult to find one where W&J, even though they're going to win this conference championship, is actually the highest seed out of the 3 teams that are looking at making the playoffs.
Yeah, it is odd. The President's at 18, 19, depending on what ranking system you want to look at and judge. Nowhere to go this time for Baraducci. He's tackled down by Austin Jacobs, junior defensive lineman at 6'1". 2nd down and 10 upcoming. Yeah, we were talking about the official standings. Carnegie Mellon and Grove City 16 and 17 in the AFCA poll. D3Football.com, they're 12th and 13th, so basically stacked back and forth. Carnegie Mellon moved up 3 spots from 16 to 13 this past week in D3Football.com. And you always wonder when you see these lists, when you see these rankings, polls, whatever they might be, how accurate are they going to be in terms of predicting the overall standings? Because there's the automatic bids, who gets in based on just outright selections, as Austin Williams on the pass from Brinzik is able to gain 13. Ball inside the 40 in the W&J territory.
Yeah, so as you look at the rankings here, like the D3 football top 25, W&J's at 18 when Grove City and Carnegie Mellon are at 12 and 13. And you wonder, why are they significantly behind those 2 other schools when they played Carnegie Mellon so well? It was an overtime comeback when to be able to get that. It wasn't as though Carnegie Mellon showed any kind of real dominance over W&J. And then W&J gets the victory over Grove City. They're going to be the outright champion here. And it looks as though there's almost maybe a little bit of motivation for W&J that they're not getting the respect that they need and deserve. And maybe that could help them as they go into this postseason.
Brinzik on the quarterback run is able to gain a couple. He pushed the football forward. Not sure if he was just trying to maintain it, not fumble the ball. It seemed like he was reaching as if he was trying to reach for a first down, but he ends up gaining 2 yards on first.
Yeah, it did look like he was trying to reach for a first down, but
fighting for every yard.
Sometimes it is. It's just about trying to get every single yard you can, and you got to love that about a guy who is looking at wrapping up his senior career.
It's a young team. We talked about 4 freshman starters, 6 overall. Offense, first team or second team. There's 15 total freshmen that are playing in this game for Allegheny as brings it. Lofts one up, and it's intercepted, looking for Dursey. Picked off by the Presidents, and it's been that type of day for Washington and Jefferson. Everyone making plays. It's Ethan Casper, the freshman defensive back from Philadelphia, who grabs in the second interception of the day.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where you can't be happier for the guy who makes the interception, but at the same time, you can't feel worse for Trevor Brinsick, who the play before, he's fighting for every single yard he can get, and then he throws up this interception with 5:17 to go in the game. Depending upon what W&J does and how well they're able to control the ball, that may very well be the very last pass he throws as a collegiate athlete.
Hope not for his case. But with W&J's ability to run the football and just turn out the clock, it is a possibility. Pistol formation, they hand it off. Dom Barca able to get 7.
And he was smart. Went down to the ground before he got out of bounds. He could have picked up another yard or two if he stayed on his feet and then went out of bounds, but he was smart enough to be able to fall before he did that, keep the clock running, because that's really what you want to do now. You're just trying to get to zeros on the clock.
It was a good gain for Cam Mulvaney. Washington and Jefferson on its way to an automatic bid. This time, Tom Barca rather gets tripped up, but does pick up the first down. Needed 3, and he's got it. So how about this, Mangino? The top-seeded team in the PAC that's not a participant in the NCAA playoffs will play the top Ohio Athletic Conference team that does not make the playoffs. It's the Open Doors Extra Points Bowl, 6 p.m. on November 23rd, being played at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton. That should be a fun one. Other league members who are not a part of the ACAC will be on the lookout for one of the conference bowl games as well. Andrew Sharp runs over a defender, still going on the sideline. Oohs and ahs on the Washington and Jefferson sideline.
Yeah, the teammates are just absolutely pumped up about that he's fighting so hard for every single yard. Watch this. He bounces it outside, makes a man miss, and then one more time outside. He just wants to show he is authority. He could have gone down, but he didn't want to. Granted, and it was interesting is that the clock still runs on that with a first down pickup out to the 41.
That's a Baldwin Fighting Highlander run right there. Andrew Sharp fighting his way for extra yards up to the 41. He remains the back with Kellen Stahl. 2 tight ends in the formation. As they'll give it to Sharp. Sharp gets tripped up after only a yard.
And so now with about 3 minutes to go, you're just trying to really eat up the clock. Take your time, let the play clock go down as low as you can get it to go. Because if you do ultimately want to have to be in a situation where you turn the ball back over to Allegheny, you just want to be able to get as close as you can to just straight zeros across the clock. You just take your time, no rush for anything on this second down play.
And how about this defense for W&J? I mean, they don't get as much. They get overlooked is the best way to put it because of the success that Pugh, McCosco, Peduzzi, the running game have under Mike Sirianni. But it's a defense that averages about 15, 16 points a game. Altenbaugh makes the tackle after a gain of 3 yards. They've not given up anything in this game. Have been fantastic, and there really haven't been too many quality chances for Allegheny to score either.
There was the one opportunity where they got it down inside to the 3-yard line, and then W&J's defense, they just decided to man up, get tough about it, and able to stop them on 3 straight plays where they only had about a yard to go to get a first down and a first and goal from inside the 5-yard line. And they stepped up, they rose to the occasion. Outside of that and one other ball control drive, they've really been there all afternoon.
2-minute timeout and 2 minutes away from W&J celebrating a President's Athletic Conference victory and a PAC champion to be crowned in a moment.
It's time to rediscover the original Voodoo Brewing Company pub in beautiful downtown Meadville. Enjoying world-renowned craft beer, delicious and unique cocktails made with our new lineup of VBC spirits and one-of-a-kind food items. Follow our Facebook and Instagram pages to stay updated on our series of live music. And if you're looking to take your celebration to the next level or host a private event, look no further than our production facility only at Voodoo Brewing Company.
As someone who disrupts plans for a living, I can't say enough about the importance of life insurance. Sometimes you can see the end zone right ahead of you, you can have a clear shot, then bam, it's Cam. A policy from GBU Life can let you focus more on getting out from under what life throws at you and worry less about protecting the life you are working hard to build. You can get a policy with GBU Life that is affordable to you now and build on it for the future with their guaranteed purchase option rider. Get started protecting the life you are building today at gbu.org.
If you need insurance, you need an agency that's sharp. The Sharp Insurance Agency is an independent agency and distinguish themselves by providing face-to-face customer service and reviewing coverage to provide the best possible value for their clients.
Hi, I'm Mike Sharp. Lean on my years of experience in the Pittsburgh area to find you the best insurance coverage, because when insurance companies compete, you win.
The Sharp Insurance Agency. Contact us today to have your personal or business insurance professionally reviewed.
3rd down and 6 for Washington and Jefferson. Andrew Sharp remains the back with Kellen Stahl. Stahl, a junior, 5'11", 195-pound quarterback from Johnstown, Pennsylvania. And they're leaving Jake Pugh after a terrific day. And Sharp picks up the first down in Allegheny territory. To the 48-yard line. It's a gain of 7.
Sacked by Vital Joseph and C.T. Granio.
And the clock can continue to run.
First down and 10 at the Gators.
Washington and Jefferson can run out the final couple minutes of the clock and officially put this one in the history books. They give it to Sharp again. Sharp, shifty moves. Andrew Sharp, first down and more. Sharp, great run.
Gets himself another first down for the president.
Andrew Sharp picks up 15 yards. And he's a quick back, not a big guy. Sharp, the freshman at 5'10", 200 pounds, but really good at moving laterally. Good quickness, able to get past defenders. Takes it to the 33. Potentially the last 2 plays of the game. Jake Pugh, 19 of 22, 295 yards, 5 touchdowns, 86% completion rate. Video game-like numbers as Sharp follows his blocking and is only able to pick up a yard. Jacob McCosco, John Peduzzi, both over 100 yards through the air. And both able to exceed 1,000 yards on the season. McCosco 135, Peduzzi 103. Both scored 2 touchdowns. Zach Cernuto with 4 grabs, 50 yards receiving, also a touchdown. And one final play for the Washington and Jefferson Presidents before they can officially celebrate. Stahl gives it. Andrew Sharp. Sharp taken down inside the 30-yard line. For the first time since 2018, the Washington and Jefferson Presidents are PAC champions and earn an automatic bid to the NCAA playoffs. The Prez Pride reigns in Meadville at Frank B. Fuhrer Field with a dominant 45-0 victory against Allegheny. Washington and Jefferson is going back to the NCAA playoffs. A hard-fought game for the Presidents and a hard-fought game for the seniors for Allegheny and the Gators, who won their first game of the season. But since then, since the win on the road at Bethany, 20-14, there's been some close calls. 44-41 against Waynesburg the last time that we were here, a game that went down to the wire in a game-winning field goal for the Yellow Jackets. A 21-7 game at Teal where the Allegheny Gators lost. 1-9, the final record for Allegheny, but Washington and Jefferson 9-1 on the season. And if everything holds, it'll be a 3-way tie between Washington and Jefferson, Grove City, Carnegie Mellon, at the top of the PAC standings, but due to tiebreakers and the scores with Washington and Jefferson losing to Carnegie Mellon in overtime, in a game where Washington and Jefferson was up by 3 scores at half, the Presidents lose that game, but bounce back in a defying game of the season against number 7 Grove City, win it 27-19, and that set the standard and set the way after Grove City beat CMU to grab this PAC championship and the trophy for the first time since 2018 that will be presented to the Presidents and our player of the game, Jake Pugh, standing by alongside Robert Mangino.
Jake, congratulations. What a performance today. Fantastic throughout the entire first half. Every time your offense touched the ball, you scored a touchdown. What was the game like for you? How did it unfold?
I mean, it was just a big game. We had a chance to clinch something we haven't done in a while, share the Pac championship. So we had to come in here focused, and we executed well. So it was a good game for us.
Not only the skill guys we talk about all the time, but your offensive line was just seemingly perfect all afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, they played great all year. They fly under the radar because we have, guys like Paduzzi and McCosco and all the running backs and tight ends and other receivers. So, all those guys get all the fame and stuff like that, but they fly under the radar. They do a great job. I mean, I haven't been hit that much this year, so, we can't do anything without them.
Coach Sirianni, talk about him for a moment.
I mean, he's just so passionate about the sport and passionate for us, the love he has for us. We love playing for him, and it's guys like him that are the reason why we take a tough loss to Carnegie Mellon and we battle back because we want to play for him and he gets us ready to go. I mean, it all starts with him, and we're really grateful to play for him.
Are there 2 better wide receivers out there playing anywhere in football?
I mean, yeah, maybe at Alabama. in our division, no. They're 1A and 1B in the country, and we got them on our team. So, I mean, I don't even have to put the ball in the right spot. I can wait forever and throw it up, and they come down with it. But we've worked so hard at it, and our timing, we've got everything timed down really well. It's fun to play with those guys, and they're my best friends. So, we're out there playing backyard football sometimes. It's really fun.
How far could this team go?
We can go as far as we want to go, as far as we let ourselves go. We got to stay focused, hopefully find out tomorrow where we're going to be and then just get ready to roll. I mean, we have a lot of talent on this team, so we're excited about it, and we think we can make a good push.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you. Austin?
Thanks, Mangino, and thanks to Jake Pugh. He's been great being able to talk to him over the last couple of years for Washington and Jefferson. This, in his senior year, being able to stand on the field and celebrate. Just a great moment for him. And Coach Sirianni, talking to Robert Mangino down on the field as well, received the Gatorade bath, and he's a happy man going to the NCAA playoffs. Here's Mangino with the coach.
Here I am, Coach Sirianni. This game, what the magnitude of this? We saw you in your mental preparations before it. What does all this mean to you now? At the conclusion, you win the Pac championship, you win this, you're 9-1.
Well, I mean, 8-1 versus 1-8 before the game, people were like, oh, this is going to be easy. But this was, to us, this was just for the conference championship. I mean, obviously, I have utmost respect for Allegheny and their football tradition. They've won a national championship in the 90s. W&J has never done that. So I have a lot of respect for their tradition, and I think their coach will continue to build on it, and they give him some time. But for us, it was like, let's win a game to win a conference championship. It wasn't, hey, we're playing a 1-8 team and we're 8-1. It was, we're playing a game to win the conference championship. And obviously we focused on what Allegheny does, X's and O's wise and things like that, but it was more about us getting the job done, so we could win a conference championship and go to the playoffs.
Let's start with the defensive side of the ball first. There was that one drive that Allegheny had, got it all the way down to the 3, but your guys showed up. They stopped them on multiple attempts to try to get that 1st and goal at the 3. Talk about your defense.
Yeah, they did a great job. I mean, Allegheny had a great plan. Let's throw quick and take our D-line out of the equation, and that's smart. I mean, that's good coaching on their part. I mean, they got rid of the ball, and we didn't do a great job of getting our hands up and tipping them, but we made the play when we needed to, because now, I mean, listen, again, it becomes 14-7. It becomes a different game. And then, so I thought they played great, and then we were able to, I mean, then our offense had 2 95-plus yard drives. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. So I think we just played really good complementary football, and really proud of the guys.
You could oftentimes look at where you could be better, but when you look at that first half today, it's hard to imagine there are many opportunities to see that with what your offensive line did, all your skilled guys, and Jake leading the team.
Yeah, offensively we played a pretty much perfect half. We didn't get a couple third downs, but we actually converted on fourth. So the two things that we didn't do well, we converted on fourth down. So, I mean, Jake's such a special player. I mean, you know, you talk about quarterbacks fitting systems and things like that. I mean, he's the system. I mean, we wouldn't do half the stuff we do offensively without him. I don't know any quarterbacks that could do that. So, and this validates his career, and I know that he's not satisfied yet.
And now we're talking about playoffs and what could very well be a bye for next week.
Well, we'll see. I mean, we got the projection, or the committee is probably meeting, and we'll see. I mean, we haven't been in we've won these bowl games, which we're proud of, but we haven't been in the NCAA playoffs, so we don't care. We just want to be in the playoffs and play a playoff game. So we could care less if we play next week, the week after, we play home, or they fly us to Hawaii. We don't care. We just want to play, and we're excited to go represent the conferences. It looks like that we are the automatic bid. So, I mean, that's a little special. I know there's going to be a three-way tie for the conference, but we are the automatic qualifier. So that's something special.
I asked Jake this too, and I'll let you go on this question. How far can this team go?
I think Grove City proved last year that a PAC team can beat anyone. I mean, it's about matchups in the playoffs. We got to see who we can get, but we can win playoff games, and we can make some noise. So let's see what the matchup is. But I mean, you don't like bowl games, which we're proud of. Bowl games are rewards for good seasons, and we've gotten rewarded for good seasons for the last 4 years. Playoffs are opportunities, and so we look forward to the opportunity.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thanks for everything the whole year. You guys did a great job.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Austin?
Thanks to Coach Mike Sirianni. Thank you, Mangino, for getting a chance to talk to him, getting a chance to talk to Jake Pugh. And the presidents get a chance to celebrate. Will be awarded the PAC champion T-shirts, the PAC championship trophy for winning the conference for the first time since 2018. Presidents won it the year before, but it was a share. And this is also going to be a share. If everything holds, it'll be Washington and Jefferson, Grove City, as well as Carnegie Mellon in CMU's final year in the PAC before departing the conference. That will all share it. And W&J marks this the third team in the last 3 years to win the conference. Grove City last year, and then CMU won it back-to-back years. Presidents win it this year. And Mike Sirianni firing up the guys. Just an exciting story to watch the President's journey over the last couple of years, because we've been doing their games for the past 4 years now, and to be able to document it all, the rise of the Presidents, to be able to climb back up top to the mountaintop, because there's been game after game over the last couple of years where the Presidents were doubted. A loss to CMU over the last couple of years. Grove City last year. It was, when will W&J get back over the hump? And the Presidents did that in a game against Grove City, where Mike Sirianni said, who's going to expect us to win other than us? We expect to win, but does anybody on the outside? And they proved everybody wrong. And the Presidents are PAC champions. Commissioner Joe Onderko meeting the Presidents with the PAC championship trophy to the 2024 Washington and Jefferson Presidents. Robert Mangino alongside.
Congratulations on a truly historic season for the Presidents. You guys have overcome adversity, shown grit, done everything you need to do to be our PAC champions here today. And I want to say this, there's been a lot of speculation out there. Is the PAC going to get one NCAA team, 2 teams, 3 teams? I can just tell you this, there's only one that I know for certain, and that's the team that gets our automatic bid, and that's the W&J Presidents. Represent us well.
The Presidents have officially received the trophy. Jake Pugh had it in hands of Kai Simmons, and they're helping to celebrate with the entire team, and so many guys trying to get their hands on the trophy for the Presidents. And there's the banner celebrating the champs in the President's Athletic Conference for the first time since 2018. Washington and Jefferson, the President's pride reigns in the conference. Thanks to everyone that made this broadcast possible and throughout the entirety of the season. We're not sure if we'll see you next week, the week after that, or when it might be in the PAC. But we thank you for following along throughout the entire season. For our entire crew, including Jake Mislimchik, Ryan Milan, and our great team at JRM Video Production inside the production truck. And for our entire broadcast crew that's been alongside all season long, Susie Cool, Alex Terry, and Robert Mangino, I'm Austin Bechtold saying so long from Allegheny, where the Washington and Jefferson Presidents celebrate a PAC title in a defiant victory. A blowout win, dominant, 45-0 against Allegheny to put their stamp on the season, 9-1, and going to the NCAA playoffs. It will be the Presidents who will join them. The bracket comes out tomorrow. But one thing is for certain, the Presidents will represent the PAC in the NCAA playoffs in the expanded field, and the Presidents win it and are PAC champions.